Thank you for coming on, Jadyn.
Thank you for having me.
So for our audience, this is Jadyn. She has her YouTube channel, which is Psychologist Loading, which I will have in the description. So let's start off. What I seen on your platform when you're talking about attachment styles, and I know you're into that. Let's go into that about your knowledge of the attachment styles that people pick up from their caregiver.
Yeah. So attachment styles are derived from the attachment theory. So that's really the whole premise of that in a nutshell is that how we relate to people, how we form bonds, and how we think of ourselves, all self-esteem, all of that, that all derives from the relationship that you had with your caregiver. So if you picked up on, like, if your caregiver was affectionate towards you, if they, were caring to you, then more than likely than not, when you grow up, you're gonna have like some of those same traits. If it was reversed, it'll be the same way. So really, just putting an emphasis on an infant, whoever they were who was caring for them. So because it's not always a parent. So some people had to go through the foster system. So whoever was that infant's caregiver, whatever that environment was like when through their developmental years, that shapes how that infant will form relationships throughout the entire span of their life. So that's attachment theory in a nutshell. Now, when you have attachment styles, there was actually it's a very famous study called the Strange Experiment. So they had babies and their caregivers. So I think it was the mother that they did, and so they did a few different scenarios. One, they'd see the infant and the mom together, and then they would see how that baby would be when they're with their mom. Then they would have the mom leave the room. That's when you kind of see how the baby's reacting. Some babies, they wouldn't be fazed. Some babies would cry. So then they're seeing why is it different? And now the second thing they're looking at, how is this baby reacting when the mom comes back in the room? Some kids, they would see their mom, they get happy again, they stop crying. Some kids, they see their mom and they keep crying. They wouldn't be able to be soothed. Some kids, they weren't even fazed when the mom left, so when the mom came back, they still weren't fazed. That's where you see the attachment styles. That infant that cried when the mom left, but they were able to get soothed when the mom came back, that's indication of a secure attachment. They have this attachment, and then they were able to kind of calm down. They have that comfort, that base. So now they're able to go back to, like equilibrium. Now, when the mom came back and they still were crying, that's more indicative of an anxious attachment. It's kind of like it's hard for them to get soothed. Nothing's really happening for them. Now, when the mom came back and the kid, he wasn't fazed regardless, avoidant. So yeah, it's very interesting. And then disorganized came after that study, but it's really interesting.
So with that, is it a certain age group where that attachment style gets instilled to you? What is the cutoff age for that? Is it from birth to 7 years old, birth to 6-year-old? When does it cut off to where it's embedded in you and it stops processing in you?
I don't think it ever stopped processing, but from my understanding, it's like those developmental years are very important. So from birth to, I believe, like age 7 is like those really formative years for a child. But that's, even with that being the case, so like we were talking about earlier, even if you did have an attachment style that isn't secure, if you grow up and you kind of realize that, you can do the work to get to a secure attachment. But from my understanding, from infancy until 7 years is like the prime years. Yeah.
Okay. So with the experiment, they did this with newborn children or toddlers?
They were toddlers. So I think these were infants that were still like crawling. So they were at least able to crawl, like play with toys, stuff like that.
So this me just having a random thought with that experiment. I'm trying to think with that one, that the child is still young and they left and they go. So wouldn't that still also indicate how the parent was potentially with the child not being from home? I mean, right. not being there with the experiment. I mean, because if they come to do the experiment, was it just a day experiment or multiple days for them to get there? What I'm saying is, if the child is acting like that at that time, does the child always act like that?
So that's kind of the thing. From my understanding, I think this was like spread out, but I don't really think that was the point. You're still able, because the thing is, an infant, they're not really, all they're worried about really is their attachment, their caregiver. That's really all they're worried about. So they can go to somewhere, so they can be anywhere new. If there still was that attachment figure, they're fine, so to speak. But when they leave, that's when you kind of see, okay, is there really an attachment there? That's more indicative of how that caregiver
Okay,
is
I get it.
treated.
It's really off the relationship with them. It doesn't matter about the environment.
Yeah.
So let's say with people with the anxious style that they would have that and they can't stop being anxious about the anxiety that what they're going through. What would you tell someone with an anxious attachment style? How would you tell them to get through it when they're actually trying?
Trying to like overcome it?
Yeah, overcome it to get more secure.
Anxiety. The thing is, when I think of anxiety, I think of fear. That's really, as I've been dealing with clients and getting that understanding, anxiety really translates to there's something you're afraid of.
Mm-hmm.
So that would really just be like, you have to decide for yourself, what is it that I'm afraid of? And then what's the worst thing that could happen if this thing were to happen? Because that's the thing. When you have we tell these stories to ourselves in our mind, and we think of the worst thing that could happen. 9 out of 10, they don't.
No, they don't.
That's the thing, they don't even happen. So it's like you're setting yourself up, you're constantly living on edge for something that may or may not ever happen. And then also, as a clinician, my job is kind of like to instill in the person I'm working with the self-efficacy and confidence. If whatever happens, you'll be able to handle it. Like just giving them that autonomy, like that courage, like, okay, let's really play this scenario out. You're scared of A, B, and C happening. Okay, walk me through this happens. What does that mean for you? Why is that so bad? How does this affect you? Like really breaking it down to the bare minimum. So they're staring that fear in the face, and it's like, this really isn't that bad, or
with the
I can deal with it.
With the anxious attachment, with your studies or with your experience with them, do you feel they have more fear of what could go wrong, not based on trauma, it is based on what could go wrong and they had the scenarios in their head? Or do you think that their fear is based off of past trauma scenarios that had this happen with this such and such, so this could happen like this with them?
From my experience, it's stuff that has usually happened.
Okay.
So like, for instance, some stuff that I've heard is like someone who's watched like their parent being unfaithful. So now that alters how they look at relationships. There's no such thing as a faithful relationship. She won't be faithful to me, or I don't believe in being in a monogamous relationship. That's one way it can color it. Other thing is someone who's been through abuse. I've talked with people who have been sexually assaulted, verbally, emotionally, physically assaulted. Like that stuff, that doesn't just go anywhere. No. So that colors how, like, that's a very intimate thing. And then like when you're talking about relationships, that's really where it comes up, is now when they're trying to be in some type of relationship. That's where a lot of those problems come up, because they're charging this person they're in a relationship with for something they may not have done, or they might seek out someone who kind of gives off the abuse that they got as a child. Yeah. So it's like, it's not always the same, but there are similarities. Yeah, patterns. For sure. Exactly.
Okay, so with that's the anxious attachments. Let's speak more on avoidant, and what are the differences between anxious and avoidant, and what are the similarities?
Yeah. There is a lot of overlap, I would say, between the two. But when we're talking about differences, the main thing that helps me kind of characterize them is avoidance. They're more likely to disengage. They're more likely to flee. They're more likely to, there's like fight, flight, freeze, fawn. Those are like the 4 kind of like responses to fear. Avoidant, they're gonna get out of there. Attachment, they're more likely to like, it's more like a, how would I say it? Like, they're able to be there, but they're just scared. Like, they're just scared. And even if they are communicating that, it's kind of like blowing up a situation that hasn't happened, that may not happen, just not communicating effectively, Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay.
And then with avoidance, so we made the similarity and differences. I really want to touch on this one because I figured out recently that I have the avoidant attachment style, working on being secure, which I've been doing the work. So I'm not all the way over there, which I have been, but it's most certainly stuff that's there. So with the avoidant attachment style, express more in detail from your experience and your knowledge of the tug and pull that's within an avoidant that the anxious doesn't necessarily deal with, because they express what they're feeling internally, but in a frantic manner.
Yeah.
But as an avoidant, they're not expressing it, but they they feel exactly like the anxious does, but they're not going to express it.
Yeah.
And then you want to express it, but then you can't, or you do want love and intimacy, but then you don't want it at the same time.
Right.
So explain that.
Exactly. So with that, and this is so interesting because you really can't see where you fall really until conflict comes.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's why I'm like, don't get all wrapped up in the good and the sweet. You don't learn a lot from that.
Mm-mm.
The bad, the conflict, the arguments, that's not just for who you're dealing with, but for yourself. Do you run? Do you hide? Do you say, okay, let's talk this out? So in situations like that, when it comes to conflict, because that's really what it's about, and avoidant is most like we're saying, it's kind of like that fear of abandonment. It's kind of like they've already made it up in your mind, you're going to abandon me, so I'm just going to leave anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Or there's no point in me trying to stick this out, you were going to walk out anyway. Mm-hmm. Kind of like they've already made it up in their mind. So it's like if anything small, anything minute, it's just kind of like, it's like a coping mechanism for them, or like a defense mechanism. Like they're trying to protect themselves. So when they've already felt like abandoned, because you got to think, going back to that experiment, those kids who they weren't phased, because the avoidance, they weren't phased when their parents left. That usually means that these were parents who usually were working a lot and they weren't showing their kid a lot of attention. That's abandoned. That child's feeling a sense of abandonment already. If that continues and that's a pattern, now when you grow up and you're trying to be in a committed relationship, if that's the story you still have playing in your mind, they're gonna leave. They're not gonna take the time for me. They're not gonna care for me. It's gonna be very hard for that person to believe that someone wants to stay, that wants to be in a committed relationship. Even if they're showing that they can do it, you have to believe it for yourself. That's the thing.
Yeah.
You have to believe it.
That is true. So you gave a scenario which that does apply because it's still abandonment. So with the avoidant, you say that they had to work. What would you be the one that someone still developed an avoided attachment style with a mother that was there?
Mm-hmm. If that's the case, if she probably wasn't very emotionally like affectionate, because that's very like that we were talking earlier, like being nurturing.
Mm-hmm.
It's in a woman to be nurturing, but not all women are that. So if you are a mother, she might not have wanted kids, or she might have been sexually assaulted and now she has this baby that she resents. That can happen. Mm-hmm. A baby can pick up on that. You don't want to hold it. You don't want to. A baby can feel that, that they're not wanted. So when a mom is kind of, even though they're there physically, but they're not there mentally, they're not there emotionally, they're not tending to the needs of the baby can pick up on that. And then when they start growing up and they have more of like their consciousness being developed, and now they see, oh wow, like my classmates, their moms, they treat like they're happy. Seems like they're happy to be around their mom. My mom doesn't seem happy. They start picking that up. And so it's like, that's right there,
No, you good, because you broke it down, because that was me, basically. Okay. My mom wasn't very affectionate. Mm-hmm. And so I did notice that it'd be, dang, they moms act like this, they mom is caring like this, they taught them like this. My mom not like that.
Yeah.
So it took me a time to realize my mom is not normal how other mothers are, especially knowing how nurturing they are. Yeah. My mom was not like that at all.
Did you think that was like a norm before you kind of saw how other kids and their moms were? Like, do you think this is how it's supposed to be? Yeah.
It was my norm, to the point to where I was in a relationship with a significant other, because my family is a lot of stuff around my family. Mm. So hers, they have a loving environment. I thought they were weird. Mm. Then I kept going like, no, they're not weird. We're weird.
I'm the problem.
We're the problem.
Yeah.
There's something wrong with us.
Yeah.
So I was like, wow, what is something? So with my kids, I'm very loving and affectionate. I deliberately, but it wasn't hard for me, I deliberately put in effort to be loving with my daughters, because you already know when it keeps going down the line, it gets worse, especially with a woman. Then she's starting to seek attention from other males.
Yeah.
That's not finna be an excuse for my daughters. Daddy show love.
Yeah.
Daddy show love.
Yeah.
I tell you pretty. I hug on you. I tell you beautiful. I hug you and I talk to you and all that stuff. Yes, I'm there actively.
Very important.
I deliberately do that on purpose, so that they're stripped from that excuse.
Yeah.
He wasn't giving me love. I give you plenty. I give you plenty.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's what that.
Yeah.
So then they want to touch on the, what's the one that comes after that? That was
They're secure, anxious, avoidant.
That one. Let's talk on the secure one.
Okay.
That's the next one.
And you know what's funny? apparently studies have shown that most people are secure. I don't buy it.
I don't believe that.
I don't buy it at all. But you have to think though, a lot of studies do self-reports. So that means I'm giving you a questionnaire and you're telling me what you rate yourself.
Nah, that don't
so
work.
Exactly.
You'll lie.
Exactly. Not even lie though. It might not
think you are
necessarily
like that.
exactly. Some people might believe their foolishness. And they might think, oh, I'm not that crazy. It's not that bad. So they're going to check all the boxes that indicate secure. But if we call a man on the phone, they're going to be like, oh, no, she's not none of that. Mm-hmm. So it's like, you have to take that with a grain of salt.
When we get in an argument, she want to leave the house and go to the hotel.
She wants to go. and so, yeah. So, but from that, I think it's like saying 50% of the U.S. is secure. I've never bought that.
It sounds fabricated to me.
I'd agree. So, wait, what was your question?
It's about to break down more the secure.
Okay, yeah. So, for secure, and it's not to say that, oh, I'm secure, so that means I never make no mistakes. It's not about that. It's about how you reconcile the mistakes that you make. Mm-hmm. You know, so people who have a secure attachment, they're more likely to have higher self-esteem. Mm-hmm. They're more likely to be able to form and maintain relationships really with anybody. You know, commitment and all those things. They're more likely to admit when they're wrong, stuff like that. They can just communicate more effectively. Not saying that they don't slip or that they get angry, but it's like, if I told you something that I blew up on you, I was angry, and I said something that was harsh or something. If I had a secure attachment, that could also go into other stuff, but just for the premise of this. If I come back and I'm like, all right, I shouldn't have said that to Turk. I'm gonna go back to you and I'm gonna say, all right, look, I'm sorry. I'm gonna communicate with you. I'm gonna tell you where I was coming from, apologize, say why I was wrong. Those are the type of things that make up someone who's secure. Is like having that ability to work things out, to be in any type of relationship, whether it be platonic or romantic.
Okay. So with that, I'm seeing as you keep talking to, it is formulating most of the times these attachment styles. I visualizing it as you telling me is that it is seen in conflict because with something going on here, this when they're frantic and they want to come toward you, what's going wrong, and all in your space want to give you distance. Yeah. The avoidant is a problem. They internalize it and they push away emotionally, mentally, physically, or all three. And then the secure one, they may make mistakes, but most of the times, then less, they will come to you and have healthy communication with you about their issues. So what I'm saying is these attachment styles ties to your problem solving skills. Am I correct about that?
Yes.
Okay. And now we're going to talk about, you said the more new one, the dysfunctional.
Yeah. That one I really don't know. I wouldn't say I know that much about in regards to the other three because I think that's not one.
It's not studied enough.
It's seen often. But from what I do know, it's kind of like anxious and avoidant on steroids, from my understanding. Like it's just someone who is really dysfunctional.
And they got them both.
And it's basically, yeah. So there's a few different names that people call the styles, but for that one, it's either insecure or disorganized. So yeah, really just a mix of both. Not really it's really gonna be hard to please that person. It's gonna be hard to get them to try to understand. It's gonna be hard to do a lot. Someone like that is probably more likely to have a lot of insecurity within themselves, not feeling like they're capable of love, but wanting it. That's a big, that's kind of consistent between all of those three, the anxious, avoidant, and disorganized. It's like they want love, but they're scared to have it. And it kind of plays out in different ways.
Okay. So with a question I want to ask I'm going to ask this. Okay, so what attachment style is it for someone that's been sexually abused as a child? What is more common for style for them to pick up on, if you know by the studies? The reason I'm asking it because when it comes to sexual abuse, that is very common in households. Some like to sweep it under the rug.
Yes.
It's most time when someone is sexually abused as a child, it's not from a stranger, it's from someone they know. So what attachment style do you know from your studies they usually pick up on after that as they grow up? Because I know that alters. Even if they had one that's nurtured, that situation can alter their attachment style immediately.
Oh, for sure. Like, well, I feel like it depends though, because from what I've seen, it's hard. You really can't put people into a box because how people react to trauma, not everybody is different. Some people are more resilient. So someone who been sexually assaulted, they might be able to recover from that quicker than someone else, and they might, if they were secure before, they might go through, you know, like that healing stage, but it might not be that hard for them to bounce back. Some people, it might not be. So it's very subjective as far as like how traumatic that was to them and how they internalize it and what that means for them. But I mean, of course, I would say, I think avoidant might be something that someone who's been sexually assaulted and they're having a hard time, which of course, yeah,
It makes sense.
you know, avoidant, because even if we're talking about sexual assault, that's about power. So when someone's sexually abusing you, that's about them exercising power over you. So when you're the person that's been assaulted, you feel like you have no power. You feel like you have no control over anything. That messes with how you look at yourself. I know there have been articles where like victims, they feel so ashamed of themselves. They feel guilty. They feel dirty. All of these things. If that's how you think of yourself, I mean, I'd understand being reluctant to want to be with someone else after I've gone through that, or if I'm still dealing with those feelings. So avoidant is something that I think would be more likely someone to develop if they weren't already that.
Yeah, that does make sense.
Mm-hmm.
Then another question I want to touch on. So from your experience, because I'm into them documentaries about the serial killers. I'm not. They're psycho, but it's like a fascination of why are you so crazy? What made you this way?
Yeah.
So I want to know the childhood. So with that, what attachment style do you see with the pattern when it comes to psychopaths?
Yeah.
What is their attachment style typically?
And that's so interesting because not all serial killers have had like an awful upbringing. There have been some serial killers who had like a very, from what the research and history has shown, like very loving parents, caring. They had they were able to provide needs. So that's not always the case, but of course that's kind of like an exception. But usually, you know, serial killers, they were either sexually assaulted themselves. That's one thing that's pretty big. Or they saw like a lot of violence. They were in like just an environment that no kid should be in. Mm. So yeah, are you asking like what makes a psychopath a psychopath? Is that
well? I was asking what attachment style do they typically would they have?
Oh, okay.
You can the question you just said you can throw that in there too.
Okay, so as far as what attachment style they have, I think that's a good question. I honestly don't know.
They probably be disorganized.
I would say maybe, yeah, because even not all serial killers are the same. Like you have some serial killers, like they want to kill because like that. So either they get sexually turned off. Some people get
like Ted Bundy.
Yes, they get like a fix from that. Or some people who they hate everybody. Everybody got to die. What makes a psychopath a psychopath? So I always thought that was interesting. I remember in high school we had to read a book. It was called The Psychopath Test. And one thing that I thought this was so interesting, they studied classified psychopaths, people who experts, yeah, this is a psychopath. And I think the one common thing they saw was there was a part in their brain that would not react. And so it's called the amygdala. Mm-hmm. That's responsible for fear. So like if I see a bear, I know to get scared and run away. Mm-hmm. That part in their brain wasn't as active. So I think it was just kind of like that, like there's really a lack of fear when it comes to the psychopaths. Like that part of their brain just was not active. So I always thought that was interesting. I don't know if that, I think when there are like deficiencies in that part of the brain, there definitely can be a lot of consequences that can happen. I don't know if that'll automatically make you a psychopath, but I do remember from that, like that was one common thing, like that portion of your brain that's responsible for feeling fear, and also empathy was another big one. Not feeling empathy for people, like caring for their emotions, thinking of them as a person, like that part of the brain just was not.
Psychopaths also, they be liking empathy too. It's like it's a missing factor inside of their brain.
Yeah.
They like empathy, which as a human being, lacking compassion and empathy as is, to where you start looking at as human beings animals, you already are in a bad space like with the name people so scared is like with Hitler. He started to look at a certain race as less than human beings. So then since you're going to look at them less than human beings, you can do anything to them because it's not human. It's just a thing. It's just an object. So
it's scary.
It's very demonic.
Yeah.
It's very scary.
Yeah.
With the attachment styles, what does a proper healthy relationship look like with amongst friends? Because a lot of times it's easy to think about man and woman.
Right.
Talk about the healthy dynamic of a friendship.
Yeah, which is a good question. So, because those attachment styles can still play out in a friendship, of course.
I agree.
So, we'll start with anxious. So, if someone who is anxious and they have friends, one thing that they might be more susceptible to doing is like that feeling of feeling left out or feeling like, oh, they don't want me to be there, or I'm not really wanted, or oh, I'm bothering them if I reach out to them. So kind of like those type of things, kind of like what I want. It's kind of like what I want and what I need is not important, or I'm doing too much, or things like that. Like feeling like what you require in a relationship is asking for too much, or just kind of like you're the problem. It's always like you're the problem, and oh, they don't want to be friends with me. A lot of stuff like that. And avoidant, kind of like on theme with what we've been saying. Let's say, okay, you and I are best friends, and you did something that I didn't like, and I'm avoidant. Instead of me like coming to you, I'm gonna keep acting like things are cool. Like we'll probably years. And I might still be holding on to that in my heart, and I never say anything to you about it, and I keep trying to go on, and I'm kind of building resentment towards you, or I'm feeling like, oh, this is just him. I haven't even given you a chance. You probably don't even know what you did.
Yeah.
So it's just kind of like stuff like that, which is, I mean, you see that stuff play out.
It's very common.
You see that stuff play out.
I got a specific scenario, which I'm pretty sure I already know what the attachment style is on, which I see it commonly amongst women or know of it. What attachment style would the woman have if she's the type to be among a certain type of friend, be all friendly with them, they so buddies, but then she moves on to a different type of friend group that has more value to her? What type of style would that be? Because now you see some of better value and leave. Do it have anything to do with attachment style? Because is it something that had to do with that girl to why you want to leave her? Meaning there's nothing wrong with her, but something within you. Would that have to do something with attachment style?
It could, but I wouldn't know enough about that scenario to kind of say what. I mean, because that could also, that could be so many different things. So you're saying like she has a friend or like a group of friends, but she just leaves them for something she deems as more high value. So for me, that's kind of like, I definitely wouldn't say that someone has like a secure attachment. I definitely wouldn't say that someone has a secure attachment. But I mean, there could be, because society comes in and tells you, oh, this is the person to be around the pretty girl, be around the one who has the money and all that stuff, which is just a stupid style.
Very stupid.
You know,
It's
that's
vain.
just stupidity
It's vain.
and vain. Yeah, it's vain. So I mean, I have a hard time kind of characterizing what style that would be, but I can't say it's secure.
It's definitely not
Yeah,
secure.
I can't say it's secure.
Now, y'all know I like talking about friendships. We're gonna come back to the attachment styles. I want to sit on dynamics of friendship, relationship dynamics. I want to sit on that for a while because I love friendship.
Please.
That's what we're gonna dive into. So you might not be able to put attachment style to that, but I agree with you. We know it's not secure.
Yeah.
So we're gonna put away the attachment styles. What do you think would make a person want to do that? So this person being here for you, and they're a real friend. They're not faking. They're genuine about it. They're there for you. I'm talking about you throwing up, you sick, you going through it, probably lost a loved one. They've been there for you.
Yeah.
But then you get to a certain point, you see a girl that's more valuable, maybe she's prettier to you, or she's more higher value status to you. Why would a person go to this person instead of value what they already have? What do you think? What would they do?
I mean, not really appreciating what they have. I feel like someone who does something like that, they really don't understand the importance of having a friend like that. Because good friends are hard to come by.
Yep.
Like that's rare. That's so rare. And so when you have that, and then you still choose to leave. I have a hard time believing you understood how good of a friend they were when you were still with them. Like I would imagine you were probably taking them for granted. Them being solid like that all that was probably swept under the rug. Like that was just, oh, kind of like you expected them to do that. They didn't have to do that. You just kind of expected them because out of their goodness of their heart, they're doing it because they want to be a good friend. And you're kind of like, I feel like when it comes to a lot of relationship dynamics or just people in general, like there's givers and there's takers.
Yeah.
And
but those roles flip within the situation too, because everyone is not always giving and one is not always taking.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
give, intake.
Yes, exactly. But when you have someone who's just constantly taking, constantly taking, and not giving anything back, they're going to take you for granted. But also, you have to think though, I'm very big on if you don't respect yourself, you can't expect anybody to respect you.
I agree.
So if you have this one, you're being solid to this person, you're treating them like being a great friend to them, and they're disrespecting you, and they're like, why should they respect you? You're telling them how they can treat you. Mm-hmm. You're allowing it to happen. So I mean, of course, this scenario can run out in many different ways, but like, I could see how that person might get fed up. Okay, maybe I've got all that I can, and she's too much now. Let me move on to somebody else. I can see how that could happen. Not saying it's right, but I'm saying I can see how that could happen. You can tell if someone doesn't have self-respect. You can tell.
What are the signs that you can tell someone that doesn't have self-respect?
Usually, one thing that's big for me is when it comes to tolerating disrespect. Mm-hmm. One thing I had to learn that for myself because I was someone, I can say for myself, I used to tolerate a lot of disrespect.
Is it because you thought you was keeping the peace?
That, but I think also I felt like I didn't have a right to kind of like speak up for myself. I feel like that was just something I couldn't do out of fear or kind of just like I just felt like I couldn't. And I realized it was really not too long before I came into holiness. Like it just like switched in my mind. Like I see I'm getting treated X, Y, and Z that I don't like. Yet I don't say anything, or I don't make any changes, or I don't say I want this to change. And then when they don't change, I don't do anything about it. Is it them the problem, or is it me that's the problem?
You.
It's me. And once that puts me back in the driver's seat. It's like, all right, I'm the one that I don't have to wait on anybody else to do something. I don't have to wait for them to change when they don't want to change. No, it's me. That kind of flipped. That was like a switch. Once I really understood that, it makes things easier. Of course, I'm still learning. I'm young, so I'm still learning. But I can safely say, like, for me, once it was my values, that was one thing I had to get clear on. What are things that I won't tolerate? There are certain, and I can joke. Like people who are around, they know I can joke. I can take a joke. So I know, like when I feel disrespected, I know I'm not just being too much. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, just knowing what I won't tolerate, like boundaries. That's a big thing. If I don't know what my boundaries are, people are gonna step all over. They're gonna do everything. I haven't said what that line is for me.
Right.
So once I kind of gotten to myself, like, this is what I'll allow. This is what I absolutely will not. And then I actually stood on it. It was like night and day. It was like night and day as far as how people would treat me. Mm-hmm. It's like night and day.
I'd rather people say like, oh, he kind of firm or he kind of mean.
Yeah.
Because I got that. Oh, he don't play. Like because you can't.
Sometimes I think you mean.
You do.
Yeah.
Why?
Well, I think more recently I'm just like, not that you're mean, but just really like, I think that nonchalant, like how we were saying, but also like I kind of want to say stoic.
Yeah,
like,
somebody told me that before at work.
And then when I seen you in Oklahoma, like you were being goofy, I was like, whoa, like he can laugh. Like,
oh, that's so crazy.
Like what?
That's so crazy.
I mean, yeah.
I'm very goofy. No, I'm very goofy.
I see now.
No, I got levels to I got a lot of layers to me. It's just that when you let people, like, when you just give people an inch, they'll try to take a mile.
Oh, yes, they will.
They'll try to take a mile. So for the most part, I'm always just like, yeah, it's cool. I'm not trying to act tough. It's just that I'm not finna let you feel like you can just do too much.
Yeah.
You're not. Like, am very stoic.
Yeah.
But that's why people say, I'm like, I give it time. We don't talk like that. You're a
Yeah.
different standpoint. I'm
Yeah.
really not mean. I'm actually, I'm a
He's not
cool,
mean.
I'm a cool fella.
Yeah.
I'm a
He's
cool
a nice
fella.
guy.
He's a
nice
nice
guy.
gentleman. I'm a cool
Yeah.
fella.
Yeah.
But yeah, when people say that to me, I know because they probably see me up there. Oh, they like, oh, he the way he is because I'm firm.
Yes.
I'm firm. That's what I am.
Yeah. And I think when you're saying like you give people an inch, they'll take a mile, certainly.
Yeah.
And that's one thing. I mean, I've always been the type like I don't mind listening to people. I don't mind like I wish I could do everything. Or at least like being there for somebody. That's important to me, or just not letting people down or like. But that gets exhausting.
Yeah.
That gets exhausting, especially when we go back to like that
People
give and
pleasing.
take dynamic. People pleasing. Because it's like I'm pleasing everybody except myself.
Yep.
And the people I'm trying to please, 9 times out of 10, they're not worried about me. They're not worried about me. And so
I think I heard someone say with the people pleasing, it's really selfish. You're showing an act of selflessness, but it's really selfish because
it's kind of like a hidden agenda.
Yeah, it's like you're doing this because you don't want them to make you
something
feel,
in return.
You don't want them to look at you a certain way, and you want them to view a certain way. You don't want to hear them say no. So you're really doing it to make yourself feel better. It's different if you give and it makes you feel good, but you're doing it to make yourself feel better. And if you don't do it, then you feel harsh.
Yeah.
It's different like, oh, I can't do it. I wish I could. You still feel good.
Yeah.
I have to do this because if I don't, then I'm going to feel bad.
Yeah. Or like, oh, if I don't do it, they're not going to like me anymore,
like me
you know?
Is it really genuinely giving out?
Nope.
Because
you putting conditions on it now.
Oh, they not going to like me. Then I can't do this. Then if I try to ask them for this, they won't do it for me. They're going to throw that in my face.
Mm-hmm.
Well, then I guess I give it to you. If you ever think you got to do that with me, just don't give me it.
Please.
Remember that if you said that.
Please.
Just don't give it to me.
Please.
So, yeah, it is with that dominant, humans are kind of very strange.
Yeah.
They're very strange.
It's very.
And then more thing I want to talk about more women dynamic because I got 2 sisters and a mama, so I'm very aware on certain things. Why are women so catty?
Catty. What do you mean by catty?
Bickering, problematic. Not all of them. Problematic. Sometimes can be shallow. I'm talking about with each other. Be very shallow because let's talk about a phrase that I commonly hear amongst women. I don't really get along with women like that. My friends are usually males. So my thing to that is, why can't you be cool with your own gender? This one would say, well, you don't know how girls are. That doesn't work for me. I do. Yeah. So as a male, if you dealing with this dude in a romantic manner, how would you feel about the male saying, I don't get along with dudes. I only get along with women. Yeah. So I hear that a lot. Yeah. Now I know people's situation is different.
For sure.
But
it's concerning on both sides.
It's concerning. It's very concerning.
On both sides, yeah.
Why can't you get along? I don't want to hear they always act like this. They always like that. A way someone acts towards you should not alter how you are. Does it sometimes? Yes. But if this girl mistreated you or didn't take you for granted, it doesn't mean you give up on the whole gender.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. Hey, look at me like that. When she's having a bad day, I don't know. She thinks she all that. Because like, when she just pretty and fresh, like, what they got to do with it?
Jealous.
Just be jealous.
Jealousy is a big thing.
Jealousy is very high amongst women.
Oh,
very
yes.
high.
Yes.
The brother don't have to think the girl. He want the girl. He could just, that shirt you got on nice. Yeah. Why is it nice? What's nice
What's
about
so
it?
Nice about
What's so
What's
nice
about it?
I mean, I like the color. Why you like the colors? But would you say that to me if I wore it?
Oh, yes. Yeah.
Well, maybe he would have.
Do you like to read?
Yeah, I like to read.
Okay, there's, I'm going to send you these 2 books. There's one book, they're by the same author. One book called The Female Brain, and the other one's called The Male Brain. It's the same author. I think
is it a girl?
It's a woman.
The Female Brain.
And she wrote both of them. I wouldn't be skeptical about what she writes about the male brain. I say be open. But I know my older brother, he's the one that recommended me to him. He was like, no, the stuff that she wrote about the male brain, like, it's spot on. And I read both of them. And the one thing that I got from it is men are so simple.
Very simple.
Men are so simple, and women, we are
complex. Not. We're complex.
We make things more complicated than they need to be.
Y'all play chess, we playing checkers.
Yes. Yes. And that's just, and I can't even say it's a lie, because if I look at my own self, oh yes, when I'm around my older brother, and he makes me so mad. He makes me so mad. He'll just be like, men are like, they're trying to go to logic. They're always trying to go to the logic. Women, we're not always trying to hear that.
It's a straight path that way.
We're
You
not
do
always trying to
logic,
hear
is
that.
this girls be
And it's not that women don't appreciate logic. I feel like where the discrepancy is, like, as women, we still, that emotional piece is very important to us.
I do agree.
It's very important.
He should meet her there.
And it's like you have to. It's like both parties have to meet each other where they're at, you know. So I think, but I mean, I think it's important for those differences to be there.
Mhm.
I think it's just, of course, you don't want a crazy man, you don't want a crazy woman.
Right.
So, but I think it's important. I mean, that's how God made us. So I think it's important. But you should read the book. That was what it got from me. Like, men are so simple. Like,
Yeah.
wow.
So simple, but
Territorial. That was one thing the book talked about too. Like when it comes to, like, if you're married or, like, you know, you're in a relationship. Territorial. That was another big thing that I thought was interesting.
I mean, look at the lion.
Yeah.
The lion don't play that.
Not at all.
You're not coming on my territory. This is
Yeah.
my wife and my cubs.
Yeah.
And my sisters, you're not coming over here.
Yeah.
We are very territorial about what we care about. So the question is, if you're not territorial, then okay. So you want to check that probably.
Yeah.
I say he's gonna be crazy and violent, but like, no, this mine. Like that's pretty much this is mine.
Yeah.
But you still go more in depth though. Touch more on about the cattiness of a woman though.
So, well, one, not all women are like that.
I agree.
Not all
but it's
women
very
are
common.
like that. It is. It is very common.
Especially with that phrase alone. I heard that phrase so
when you were saying
times.
I can be friends with males, but I can't be friends with women. Yeah.
All my friends are dudes are only cool. Even with my own experience, it could be something like a gathering. Don't nobody really know no one. The woman that already had that mentality. Dang. Okay. They can literally be among sisters, but the sisters won't talk with each other.
Mm-hmm.
But a brother, he just a cool brother. That sister will talk to that brother freely. I'm not gonna say who. I had a situation where I don't really I had to send her to the sisters, like, all them sisters over there, go talk to them. Why should I have to do that? With the mentality, you should when it's the brother. Cool. Now I talk to all, but I'm gonna be creeping myself way back over there where the brothers is. I don't want to be over here. I'm cool. I don't have that issue.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna be sitting here in this full group. It's like 10 of them. I'm over by myself. No.
Yeah.
Where the brothers at? Even when we be in the gatherings, brothers start going outside and stuff. Wait.
All a lot of women around here.
There's too many women around here. I'm going to get out of there.
Yeah.
So, it's just that, no, I feel like it's a thing where they give up trying because it happens so many times. They don't, and then sometimes the competition.
Yes.
They be competing with each other.
They make it kind of like a character trait.
Yes.
You know, like, oh yeah, like these males, they like to be around me. They protect me, or these are my guys. I'm one of the guys. That's.
And you never will be. He know you're not no boy.
Why would you want to be a guy? As a woman, I would never want to be a man.
Yeah, I never want to be a girl.
And that's the beauty of it, right there. That's the beauty of it, right there. So it's just, I think and I've heard women say that, you know, oh, I can get along with men and I can't get along with women. Some stuff I understand. Some stuff is too much. Things that I've heard, you know, oh, I grew up around males. All I grew up was around males. I wasn't around many women. So they grew up having a lot of masculine tendencies or just being exposed to men and men mannerisms. So now they have that comfortability, and it's not the same with women. I can understand that.
Mm-hmm.
Other times, it is like you said, it's like that competition piece.
Mm-hmm.
From personal experience, because there have times where I felt like I noticed it seemed like I was able to have more relationships with males. But the thing is, I've always had solid friendships with women. I mean, I had people from middle school that I still close with. So it's not that I've never felt like, oh, I can talk to men and not women. But I do notice, though, it's like sometimes it really depends. It really does depend, and it depends on the setting. But some women, when they see one that males don't mind talking to you, they see you as a threat. When they see like, oh wow, brothers, they don't mind talking to her, or she's funny. That's one thing. Like if you're a woman who actually has good character and like you're actually a good person, women who are wicked, they don't like that. And so now there's a target on your back and you've just been yourself. So I've been in situations like that. So in on the flip side though, like that having those, it's hard to find a good female friendship. That's even today. I don't know, Nautica, if you would say the same.
Absolutely.
But
I hope y'all heard that. She said absolutely. She said absolutely.
It's very difficult to find a solid female friend. That's why I love you and John.
Oh,
yeah, y'all friendship in that video y'all watch. I think I started crying when I watched that.
I love bro to death.
Friendship, yeah. No, John's wonderful.
Love him to death.
Yeah, friendship is so important. I think that's more important than like romantic. That's why I emphasize that friendship is so important to me. And
I don't agree. It depends what romantic part you're talking about though.
What do you mean?
Because if it's husband and wife, it's not more important than that.
Well, I would say that it has to be a part of that.
It is a part, but it's not more important.
It's
for a human relationship is nothing higher than a husband and wife.
I feel like we're saying the same thing, but in different ways.
Well, yeah, your husband and I'm just making sure so the audience don't friendship will be in a marriage.
Not for everybody.
It should.
It should be, but it's not for everybody.
But the reason I'm saying because a male to male friendship is only going to go to a certain level, and then your wife,
it's gonna be different.
You're going to but your wife is a whole different level. Yeah. So human wise, that's the most important relationship you're gonna have on earth.
I agree.
Besides your parents. And maybe your kid, but even your kids is under your wife.
I agree. And it's a different type of relationship.
So I just have to like.
I agree.
To make sure they get but go ahead.
Yes.
Go ahead though.
So yeah, friendship is so important to me, and so I see like when I've tried to build friendship with females, I learned quickly like it's hard to find a solid sister. Mm-hmm. That's not easy to find.
So do you have a friend currently?
I would say so. Okay. But the thing is though, I have friends from, but before holiness that I know if I call them, they'd be there for me. So two that I can say. In holiness, I have found sisters that I can say that are a friend. I think since I'm still fresh in holiness, it's like, I feel like we're still all in that, like we're feeling each other out. And I think that's wise. I honestly think that's wise. And I say that because, not saying like, oh, I feel like, and I've had the sisters that I'm talking about, we've had conversations like this. Like, it's kind of like feeling like you're on guard. Like there's that wall still up.
You feel like that guard when you're talking to your...
No, not when I'm talking to them, but like when it comes to like pursuing a friendship with sisters, it's like, it's so hard to find one that clicks. Yeah, chemistry also, but like just a sister who's not wicked. It's not, you think I'm playing. But also
I don't think you're playing. I definitely don't think you're playing.
But even if, because there are a lot of solid sisters, but I think another big thing is like morals and principles. Because that's not the same, unfortunately, for everybody. And like, when it comes to certain stuff, like there are just certain things that you don't do to a friend. A lot of people don't get that. They don't see that. And you, as sisters, sometimes we have to find that out the hard way, what someone really thinks. So it's hard to find someone solid. Thankfully, I have sisters that I can say are solid. I just pray that it never changes. That it grows and strengthens. But
what would you call a friend? What do you need in a friend?
That's a good question. I think, like I was saying before, loyalty. Loyalty is very important to me. In general. I'm very big on like, I don't want people to feel comfortable talking bad about you to me. If people know I'm your friend, they should not feel comfortable coming to me to talk about you.
Not for real.
That's already, and even if that does happen, that'll probably be the first and last time they ever do that to me, because I'm so big on that. Especially if I know the kind of person you are, I'm not gonna let anybody just talk about you any kind of way. And then you're not even here to defend yourself. So I'm going to step in and do it for you, So that's important to me. I'd want someone to do that for me. Loyalty. I think a big thing also is just being considerate. I really appreciate someone who's considerate. Women are more considerate than men, I feel like.
No.
I'd say so.
Um,
I'd say women. I think it can be. I'll say that.
I wouldn't say all the time because reason why I say, what do you mean by? Because you mean emotionally?
I think just in general, like.
I don't know because you think they are? Then if they're more considerate.
Naturally nurtured.
That don't mean nothing because. This is what I'm saying because if they so considerate, why on times like that y'all relationship or friendship don't last that long? y'all always cool. We was cool. This that. Dudes usually first day
and y'all click. That's
we
why
friends.
It's not like that for women. I don't understand that.
That's why I counter what you're saying talking about some.
But that's not consideration.
Yes, it is because we consider what bro don't like, what bro needs from me, all that stuff. Knock, I'm not gonna say that. I can use Naka's scenario. I'm not gonna say all the way. I'll tell you on camera. Mm-hmm. Naka gave me a scenario that I'm pretty sure I don't even know a lot of women with that mentality that would do. I took a glimpse to a situation of life or death. Stay right there. How many women you know really know that their friend about to die and stay there, and they could die too?
What, die with you?
Yes.
Oh yeah, yeah.
But think about it. Most of the military men, they met them at boot camp and they ready to die for them. That's love.
That is love. That's love.
That's love.
That's love.
And
then to die, yeah, that's love.
And if you love someone, you're going to be considerate.
I agree. I agree with what you're saying, but I feel like
that's why I saw you mean emotionally, yeah, because we're not all emotional, but it depends what you mean by consideration.
You jump from how do we go to death from consideration? Like I feel like that's
love and consideration ties.
But we're not talking about love. We're talking about consideration, which is a form of love.
Okay, how am I wrong?
I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just saying like, how do we get there? But
because this one got me when you threw the more. So I have to give you a scenario where more because I'm like, how? Because from my life experience, I have not seen such a severe stuff that will really try a friendship to see what the love is as much as I see with men. Men be having situations where their life is on the line. Mm-hmm. That women just have, maybe, it's important. Maybe you dealt with a loved one. I'm going to come there and care for you. Oh, your man cheated on you. I'm going to come care for you. Or you maybe lost one of your kids. I'll come care for you. Which one of y'all altered that y'all might die? And that other one can't leave you. Will they stand there or just leave you? Most of the time with dudes, they had that type of situation, especially they've been to the military. They don't even know. They met them there and they're willing to die for them. That's different. Like, I'm not, ask someone.
I mean, but women be quick to die for their children. So are you saying like women are like?
No. We're talking about the friends.
Okay.
I know women would die for their kids. Yeah. But I don't know a lot of women that would die for their friend. We ask that, you love, yeah. Would you die for her? Get quiet.
Yeah. That's true. That's true. That's true.
That's a great form of love.
Yeah.
It's a great
that's
form
true.
Of love. That's why if someone comment, if you won't die for me, don't say you're my friend.
Yeah. You know what I feel like the big difference is on someone who, like, I'll die for you versus someone who's like, maybe not. How vulnerable you are with that person. I feel like that plays a big part into it. Or maybe, well, let me think this through. I think like one thing that I've noticed more recently is like, and I think maybe this might just have to do with the teachings that we're getting from the pulpit, like you don't want to be quick to divulge like all of your personal business. Yeah, I think that's a very big thing also when it comes to sisters. When we're getting this type of teaching, it's like I know for me and the sisters that I'm cool with now, like we're very reluctant to share stuff about ourselves. Mm-hmm. I think part of it is wisdom, but sometimes I feel like a part of it is like fear, So balancing that. But my thing is, I feel like for a relationship of any kind to really grow, there has to be that vulnerability.
Yeah,
it has to be there.
To get intimacy, you got to have vulnerability.
You have to.
No vulnerability, no intimacy, no closeness.
Yeah. But I'm saying if you have even friends that you've known, like, because Pastor said that you can know someone 40 years and still not know them.
I agree.
So it's like, even if I've I've known you forever, but I haven't told you. I feel like I can't tell you, I can't be vulnerable with you. I feel like I can't,
It's not a friendship.
Some people that is.
That's definitely not
Some people it is. That's why I'm like, it's like twofold. Like, it's hard to, when you are vulnerable and then feeling like someone will stay or if they'll stay, and then also like that judgment. So it's like that person you're dealing with, also you have to give them a chance, you know? So it's kind of like back and forth. But
see, I understand that. And then it's also, I actually can speak on this because I have a friend. So with that, with a real friend, you don't feel like you'll be judged. You might worry, you don't want to hear their mouth maybe, but you won't feel judged when you tell them something and you don't have your guard up. You don't worry about them taking stuff out of context. You can be raw, brutally the way you want. You don't worry about them telling your business. You don't have to worry about none of it. You can have an argument. You don't worry about they snaking you, none of that.
Yeah.
So you're saying about the scared, the vulnerability and stuff.
Yeah.
With a real friend, you won't feel that.
Yeah.
And pretty much how me and John is now, it was like that from day one, pretty much. Like we hanging out. It was
really.
It was like, of course it corrupted, but it wasn't no, oh, he weird. It's like the thing, I already said it, but it's sad because people are transactional.
Yes.
The fact he paid for my stuff multiple times up front and didn't ask for money, I already knew who was solid just from that. I already knew who was solid just from that because, oh yeah, people I was saying before, oh bro, but I had you last time, you ain't get me. You, oh bro, bet. No, I got you, bro. I kept doing like, oh, he different.
Yeah.
People ain't doing that.
Yeah.
He been solid ever since. And the way I'm cut, especially because I told you my avoidant attachment style, it was either for me to bond with a man on a friendship scale, but the romantic was more terrifying. I had that bros over. I had that. I was loyal to them. I had a friend that I knew minimal, and I had part of the girl, but I was, man, something happened. I was like, you want to beat bro up? He's like, he at the school. I'll beat him up for you. I only knew him for like 2 weeks. It's like, that's why when you said it depends what the vulnerability, how the bond was, to a scale, I know what you mean about the opening up, but basically what I'm trying to say is either in you or it's not.
Or do you think that can also, and I agree with what you're saying, but do you think that also goes back to the fact like men are so simple?
Nah, it's got to be in you or not. And you know why? That's why I'm glad with my perspective, because my sister, she's just like me with that friendship stuff. My sister, if you rocking with her she feel like she love you and y'all friends for 3 weeks, she's not feeling nobody play with you.
Yeah.
Flat out.
Yeah.
So I know I have a sister, 2 of them, and they both like, they don't play.
But Nautica, how often do you see that in other sisters? Sisters not really. That's my point.
No, I'm agreeing with you. But the thing is, when you went to the men are more simple, it ain't got to do nothing. It goes back to, it got to be in you.
Do you see do you run into a lot of males who have that in them?
It depends. Are you talking about dying for you? Or are you talking about like being a good friend?
Being a good friend.
I can't say Cole only got like one friend, so. I mean, I see what qualities, but I'm very skeptical about friendship. I always have been.
Yes.
Especially, I actually know what a friend is like too, so I'm not settling for nothing. So, yeah, I see qualities, but I don't care about when everything all good and we eating together and talking together and everything. No. We need to have some real. Something that's going to go against the skin and cut some up.
Yep.
Get your thigh knocked out of the joint. Something. We need to see some real pain. Then I will see how you are.
Yeah.
Not exactly types now, but when conflict.
Yep.
Tension.
Yep.
It's cool when... Glory.
Yep,
That's cool.
Lord.
That's cool. That's cool.
That's great.
That's very good.
Yeah.
That's very good. When stuff start hitting the fan,
yep,
you start crumbling like wet paper,
yeah,
you will not be my friend. I'm not tolerating it.
And I think for me, that's always been my biggest thing. Like, and I think for the longest time, I didn't know if I was the problem. I think it's because I know how I am when someone is being vulnerable with me. At first, I used to not really be comfortable with it. That used to be very uncomfortable for me. But now, you know, I ask questions. I listen. Sometimes I don't, because sometimes the best thing you can do is say nothing and just listen.
I agree.
You know, so I noticed like that caring and compassion that I can be. I noticed that the times where I would share something that was not, I didn't feel that from the other person. And not like trying to be transactional, but it's more like, it's hard for me to open up to someone when they show me they can't really sit with me in that time.
Yeah.
That's hard to find. Some people, and it's not because, and maybe it is like it's just not in them. Some people, they don't know how to be with someone when they're in that point. And I can understand that. I'm still learning how to comfortably be in it. I think I've gotten better, but I used to be really uncomfortable with vulnerability, being vulnerable, very uncomfortable with it. And it's a learning process for sure. But yeah, like
the conversation we're having, which I can tell you're inquisitive and you actually know how to engage in conversation, but that isn't even a skill that's common nowadays. People can talk so much on the phone. I mean, on the phone, but I mean that they're talking, like probably even on the phone, literally it's easier for being in person or texting through the app and stuff. They all can do that or be on feeds and do all this stuff that's so social media based, but they don't have human dialogue. They don't know how to sit there one-on-one, put the phones down and actually dialogue with one another and sit in it. They don't have to be emotional to sit in it, but be present, mentally, emotionally present with someone else. That is not common. People have very shallow conversations oftentimes, and they can't actually be there with someone. That's why I know what you mean. I think I even said in one of my posts, I've always been inquisitive. I'm curious. I want to know why you think that way. Why are you that way? What made you that way? I want to know all of it. If you ever, I'm actually curious about the person. How are you as an individual? Not just, oh yeah, that's cool. Oh yeah, cool. That's it. What else? Oh,
and I noticed one thing. I noticed this more with males. I noticed this more like, and I'm like this with anybody, but I noticed when I would have conversations with males and I would be inquisitive, act genuinely curious, I noticed that they would seek out those types of conversations because they knew I would listen. I'm not, well, this is from my understanding. It felt like they would kept coming back to me, and not like romantically, just like, just males, and have like just expressing vulnerable stuff. And I'm like, in my head, I'm like, where is this coming from? Like, because males don't really open up like that.
Nah.
So I'm like, when I notice like, it's that thing, like I can actually be non-judgmental and listen, but even then it gets very exhausting being the listener. That's just the truth of it.
Because it feel like you're getting trauma dumped on or problem dumped on.
That's a part of it, yes, but the thing is, it's not even a relationship. It's so one-sided. It's like, I know so much about you, you don't even know my middle name. You haven't asked. You haven't asked anything about me. You haven't asked, you don't know how many siblings I got. Like, you know nothing. But I know where you was born. I know what time you was born.
They want a therapist. They want a mama. Yeah, that's all we talked about earlier. I told you. I had no psychology, but I'm getting it.
But you're getting it. But okay, but then tell me this though. So when I noticed, like, even when I started getting into the field, I noticed this. And then when people learn that I'm in psychology, because I used to not like to broadcast it, and I still don't. I don't really offer that unless someone asks, or now if they see the YouTube channel. Because now they think, oh, I got a free therapist. Or they think, oh, I can talk to her about anything. Or da-da-da. And while, of course, I kind of honor and privilege if anyone ever feels comfortable talking to me about something. I don't take that for granted. But I've learned now, like, I have to put that in check. I have to. Like, that's another boundary. That's the thing. Because people, they will take advantage. They'll dump. And they don't think about, oh, she's a person. She has stuff she's going through too. She needs someone to talk to. They don't think about that.
You have people you're able to talk to?
Yeah.
Good.
But that's why I thank God for God. I can talk to God.
Yeah.
And he'll listen. And I mean, so yeah.
Yeah, it is draining for one side. You go to someone, the person always throwing something on you.
Yeah.
And you be like, wait, you don't never ask nothing about me.
Nothing.
We never had nothing to talk about. Or even with the conversations about where you leave the conversation and you feel worse than you did before the conversation.
Oh, yeah.
Then that's something there. That conversation didn't need to be had.
Yeah.
Because why are you more drained from after talking?
That's true.
The conversation, you be able to get something.
They feel great.
They feel great.
They feel great.
And you feel, dang, why'd I even answer the call? Like, I'm all sad and down and stuff. No. Yeah. I have a conversation. I want it to be something I got something from. Like, actually, it was pleasant to hear talk about that. We called up, or maybe I learned something.
Yeah.
That's how I want my conversation to be. I want it to be productive.
I want it to be like a symmetry, like that give and take that we were talking about. Like, it's a balance. Like, of course, there might be some conversations like, oh, I really need someone to listen to me right now. Okay, fine, cool. But if that's just the pattern, it's never about, okay, how are you doing today? It's never that, or it's never like just that curiosity is not there. That's not a relationship I want to be in.
No.
Of any kind.
No, that's very draining.
Yeah, it's very draining. But I think since that's so rare, I think that's rare. People who actually listen and are curious, I think that's rare. So I think it's easier to screen out who I want, who can be in my life and who cannot. People who are genuinely like caring and curious, and I'm not talking about like being nosy. I'm saying like actually like.
You can kind of tell.
You can tell.
You kind of even can tell with the tone or eye posture, even head posture.
In context, like
you kind of can tell. Like it's like they actually show a curious sign. If you got to think of a symbol, they show a curious symbol. Okay, they ask you a question like they look doing that like.
Yeah, and on that, I think some studies that said like that's how you know someone's real. Like not that's how you know, but like if someone do that little head nod,
you can tell like
they're like
what's that about? Like they look like we just simply I do that, huh? What's that?
Yeah,
you literally head change.
And body language doesn't lie.
Curious.
Body language doesn't lie. How you just did that, even when you lean in, that's like you saying I want to know more. Body language does not lie.
No, it doesn't.
Yeah,
it really doesn't. Okay. Yeah. With the dynamic of parenting, said it's Father's Day.
Yes.
How important of a role is a father inside of his kid's life?
Very. It's important for the boy and the girl. I don't know if I would say what's more important, if it's more important for the boy or the girl, because I feel like
they both important.
It's both important. I think it's important for different reasons. Like how we were talking about earlier, a lot of the men today are feminine.
Very.
They're so feminine. It's disgusting. They're feminine and they're weak and they're unstable and they got no spine and they're bums. Yeah. And they're not strong. I'm not talking about muscles, but like mentally and they're not strong. And
tissue paper.
Yeah. And nine times out of 10, though, if you see what their dynamic was like with their father, it maps out. Father was absent. Father was abusive. Father was a drunk. Father was in jail. You know, like a lot of things, jail and not like jail. He was in jail and he wasn't doing anything to be a part of, because you can still be in jail and try and do what you can. But yeah, like you 9 times out of 10. You can track it back to how their relationship was with their parents. That's why I love the attachment theory, because it's so applicable, I feel like, to a lot of people. So I feel like for men, when you aren't raised up in an environment, seeing what a man is supposed to be like, what a man looks like, what a man is, if you're not seeing that, the mother can only do so much. She can only do so much. And I'm not saying that means you're automatically going to be feminine if you don't have that man in the household. No, not at all. But I would say that there are some consequences from not having that father. There can be, especially when it comes to how to treat a woman. Because if your mom doesn't know how she should be treated, and you don't have a man in the house teaching you how, what are you going to do?
I don't say I believe it necessarily. I'm still thinking about it. I think I heard that single mothers raise simps. I heard something like that, because they're raising him unto what they think a good man is, what they don't know. They're setting him up for failure, because now he's simping.
Soft.
He's soft because now what's the phrase? You don't make a girl cry, but you didn't give context. You put it like, if I'm making her cry, I'm failing. Or how about women like to cry to be manipulative? They'll manipulate the cry.
Oh, yes.
Or in a woman that cries, she's emotional.
Yes.
That don't mean you did nothing wrong, she's emotional.
Yes.
You're correcting her on something, now she want to cry. Do that mean, I got to fix you crying? No, you're going to be crying then. I'm not going to be beating you down, but I'm not finna, I didn't mean it. No, I meant it. I meant it for sure. So you can get this Kleenex and then we're going to go back to what we're saying. The conversation's not over. We're going to still talk about it. And you can cry while we talk about it. I'm not moved by tears. I'm not really moved by tears. upbringing, I know tears can be a form of manipulation.
Yeah.
And on top of that, if I'm not moved by the tears, then I'm not going to be, okay, I'm going to give you time to wait and stuff, but we're still going to talk about this after and not, oh man, she's crying, man.
Yeah.
No, we're going to still talk about it because people like to do that. Oh, don't you see me crying? Don't you care? No, I care about this conversation.
Yeah. Yeah. No, and you're right because, I mean, it's true. A lot of, I'm not just saying that. That's the thing, though. Men can do these things, too.
Mm-hmm.
It's not just what women are more likely to do them, but men can do these things, too.
Yeah.
But, yeah, like the crying, yeah, like, I'm a cry, but I know for me, we still need to get to a solution. A solution has to be met. So if I'll tell you if I need a second, but you know, we can still talk. The cries ain't affecting my speech. So
yeah.
But I mean, you just gotta know who you're dealing with.
Yeah.
You gotta know what you're dealing with. But we were talking about fathers.
Yes, fathers.
So I talked about the importance of it for a man. Which I feel like that was good.
Yeah, it was good.
Now for a woman, I mean, I'm sure you can probably understand like how important that is. Because I think like a lot of, and I don't like to generalize because there are some women who just don't, that part of them like being in a relationship with a man, like that's not of importance to them, or like getting married one day, that might not be in their agenda. But I would say for a good majority of women, you know, like that relationship piece is important. When you haven't seen that, when you haven't experienced that for yourself, you're kind of going out into the wind. Like you have nothing to base what a good relationship is, what it is, how you should be treated, what's bad treatment. Like even if we think about DV victims, domestic violence victims, like.
By the way, I think Oklahoma's like top 3 for that stuff.
Really?
Top 5. I'm gonna fact check that. I think make sure to make, we like top 10. I'm gonna probably put that right there.
For domestic violence?
Yeah.
Wow.
Huh? Oh yeah. See.
Whoa, really?
I've been here my whole life. It's not. And when you hear that, people think, oh, male beating woman. No, where I'm from, they both beat each other.
Really?
They both beat each other.
Like they take turns? Like
no, they lock.
Oh.
Or like it ain't no just when people think domestic violence because it's all the movies and imagery, they think dude ain't coming home crazy or he just mad and he take off on you. No, where I'm from, a girl will sock the dude first.
Whoa.
And it's like 50-some%. Doc, are you looking at them now?
Yeah.
Okay. Continue to talk when she fact checked.
Interesting. That's.
When you said I just thought of that. Where I'm from is a lot of domestic violence.
Wow. Interesting.
I've seen it a lot in my life. A lot of people lock in. It's very common.
Wow.
Very common. When you say this, I was like, where I'm from, it's heavy.
Yeah.
Stengel law firm, the state with the highest rates of domestic violence is Oklahoma. 49.1% of women in Oklahoma and 40.7% of men have experienced domestic violence.
Say that again. Say that again for her. No, say the percentages for each gender again.
So 49% of women in Oklahoma and 40.7% of men.
Told you.
That's almost half and half.
Told you.
Yeah, they beat each other.
I'm talking about living. I'm talking about in my family. When you in Oklahoma, I don't always think dude is. When I hear they got in a fight, girls don't even sometimes say he beat me anymore. Girls say we had a fight. They say fight because they swing back.
Because they knew, yeah.
They literally, when you see it, you wouldn't even think like, oh man, maybe I should. They both.
So it's not like self-defense. It's like no, like she just was.
Yeah.
Abusing him.
Yeah, and he probably punched her back. But sometimes they do be punching, but most Oklahoma girls, they not finna let you beat them. Y'all's gonna be fighting.
I can respect that.
So that's what I'm saying. One thing when I seen that, I just popped in my head. We said that. I was like, where I'm at, they be fighting.
Wow, I didn't know it was like that in Oklahoma.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's why I told you I never moved to Oklahoma. So that lines up, yeah. It's looking more and more unappealing to me. Yeah, but anyway.
No, them men down, some of the men down there, them women, they will beat you. They'll literally say, didn't I tell you to stop playing with me? Yep, outside.
Okay. Yeah.
My bad. I had to talk about that.
No, that's my fact of the day.
Now go back and talk about the father affecting the daughter.
Girl, the daughter. Yes. So I feel like that would be the really big thing. Like, also that self-respect. Like even if we talk about like how a woman dresses, you know, men like to look. That's just in the nature of a man to look. But I'm sure you can tell you'll respect a woman who covers herself up more than a woman who
Way more. Even this, if I don't know neither of them. The one that is dressed properly or covered, I would come at her differently.
Mm-hmm.
Now because of teaching, I'm going to treat them the same. But
Right.
in a word, I believe, oh, that's her way. And then this one would be like, you'll be way more respectful.
Mm-hmm.
Way more respectful. Like, do you need me to get that for you? So already,
Yeah.
the other one is like, I treat her anyway.
Yeah.
She don't even care about herself. Look what you're wearing.
And the thing is, a lot of women aren't teaching their daughters that. It's usually the men, the fathers, who are teaching their daughter that. That's so, because he knows what's in himself, so he knows what's in these little boys.
Man.
So he knows what to do, like to kind of protect his daughter. That's why I thank God so much for Pastor. Like, he seems like such a great father. What to do and what not to do, what to stay up for, and also watching who you're around, you know, because our parents will see things that we don't see.
Mm-hmm.
So that dad is so important, but I feel like he's important if he's stable. Like I don't know how much value I can get from an unstable father. I don't know.
You won't.
I'm leaning towards that. Yeah, there's not much.
It's not much you can get.
Not much. But like stable men, they seem very few and far between. Like not like, I mean, have you noticed that even? You're a male. Do you see a lot of stable men?
No. No, I don't.
Mm-hmm.
Even to it's rare to when people get to know me more and then they commend me on. I think that's the word, right? Like commend. That's a proper word. Okay, that's a positive word. But they commend me on my behavior, how I conduct myself. But to me, this is how you're supposed to be. I don't feel I get a round of applause for I'm doing what you're supposed to do.
Did you have a stable father figure in your life?
Nah, my dad was a deadbeat.
And this is my thing. So remember how I was saying, like, there's some males, and you see the males who are weak, soft, and you see they usually had a father who fits into a category similar to like that. And a part of me is like, okay, I want to be understanding of the fact that you got dealt a bad hand. I really want to be understanding of that. But then I feel like I can be empathetic to that, but at the same time, I do not think that's an excuse. I do not think that that's an excuse. Like, I can understand, but at one point, all right, you're pushing 30. When are we gonna get it together?
That's a good question.
When are we gonna get it together?
When we gonna get it together?
Man. Like, that's why I'm very big on like fault versus responsibility. Like, it wasn't your fault that you had an unstable father, or that you didn't grow up in a healthy environment. That's not your fault. So I understand why you might have picked up on those bad habits, but now it's your responsibility to do the work to not be that. That's on you now.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of men, like, they don't see that, or I don't know what it is.
They have an immature mind.
Yeah.
They pass 25, but they prefrontal cortex
Still not developed.
Still not
developed. What do you think is that differentiation though? Like, you just said yourself you had a deadbeat dad. So
give context for the audience. My father was present until I was like 7 years old, but he still was a deadbeat.
Okay.
Let me make sure I'm gonna give him his 7-year credit.
How was he in those 7 years?
Well, so now I actually know how a father's supposed to be. I wouldn't say he was good as actually teaching me right, but he was present.
Decent?
He was present.
Okay.
He was present. I give him that.
Okay. So let's say someone else, they had their dad, same thing, 7 years, but he's feminine. He wants to be the pretty princess.
You think that's a correlation from the dad not being there and being feminine?
I was asking because I don't know.
Oh, me?
Like, if you see someone who might have had a similar upbringing to you, and like, but you see that they're more feminine, more soft, more unstable, like.
Yeah, I would think a lot of just off rip. I would think, was you hanging around women too much? Like, your mom tell you, well, not even that, because I'm the only boy, but still I know sometimes I can rub men wrong when they're young, or boys wrong. Was you around your mama too long? So when she on the phone talking to her homegirls and stuff, are you sitting there listening to it? Just sitting there. When she's got all her friends, homegirls, are you in the living room there? When she's going to the salon, are you there with them? all that stuff. Did the boy even have a desire to want to go play with the boys? Or you want, like, it's different when you got to because you were a boy. Because I understand what this. I had to go to the salon. I had to, but the difference was, knocking when it's, I wanted to go outside with the bros. When I got to a certain age, I'll start getting away from them.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to be around y'all. I don't.
Yeah.
I'm in the house they annoy me.
Like that desire was there.
Yeah. I need to, bro. Like, can I go outside? Like, can I go outside? Now you got to, because you can't. You got to go with the run errands with the grandma and stuff.
Yeah.
But when can go outside, I want to go outside. I don't want to be around y'all. What y'all talking about is nice entertaining to me, and I don't care. So, I don't know. It's kind of hard for me to say because my
nuances, context, all that matters. Yeah.
It's hard for me to say because then you know what they say. Oh, if you hang around women all the time, you be feminine. I disagree with that because I'm the only boy.
Yeah.
No.
And my older brother, I mean, he was the only one in the house. He's the oldest. He was the only. It was me and my sister, him and my mom.
See.
He's not a feminine thing about him.
See, that's what I'm saying. It don't always matter. Oh, I grew up around women and stuff. Like, what did that mean? Like, I'm the only boy. I'm still the way I am now.
Yeah, I think I was so curious though. Like, why does that happen? Like, you know, that's just always been curious to me.
I think it goes back. It's got to be in you. It's got to be in you because me, the father I am, I really didn't have a blueprint. I kind of like an uncle, but not so much around to know actually how to be. My sister can bear witness. Before I even had a child, I talk about what I'm going to be in my child's life. I'm not going to be a deadbeat like my dad.
Yeah.
I'm young before I even had a child talk. I'm like in single digits telling her this. So I knew I wanted kids young. I knew I always wanted to be
Well, you
dad.
said single digits. You was less than 10 talking about?
Yeah.
Whoa.
I think so. Yeah, most definitely.
Wow.
I always knew I wanted to be a father. Always did. I'm not going to be a deadbeat. I'm going to be in my child's life.
Yeah.
So I just kind of tried to be the dad I always wanted. My dad didn't really be there for me like that. I remember him just abandoning us out of nowhere. He was coming present, and my mama didn't ever bash my father. I can give her that. She let him prove it to us how he was, to where he kept lying about pickup. I'm gonna come get y'all, and then he had to keep breaking my heart.
Yeah.
And to get y'all, he not coming to get me, and then it goes into years.
Do you feel like that's a part of how you develop like that avoidant attachment style?
No, my mama caused it. I think most of my pain developed like that was due to my mom. My father, I dealt with anger issues because my father wasn't there and stuff like that, but it wasn't an effect to how I have issues with a woman. It wouldn't affect that with that, and it didn't affect my bond to make friendships with males. I did have a degree of not liking male authority. Okay. But that, as I got more mature, that went away. Yeah. But my mom was the main impact or the full impact of my trauma when it comes to attachment.
So how would you, what effect would you say that had on how your relationships, or when you kind of were feeling seeing how this affected, what were you seeing that you can say today, this, I was acting that way, or these were the patterns because of this relationship with my mom? What were you seeing?
When women were shallow or wouldn't offer or wasn't expecting deep vulnerability from me to let my walls down and actually they expecting that they wanted me to be emotionally present and the woman to be emotionally absent or distant. The ones that didn't care about it, that was comfortable for me.
So when they didn't offer an emotional space for you, they didn't care?
No, I mean they didn't care about get into the deep questions. They didn't care about figuring out internally how you were and why you were like that. Okay. That's safer. But then you end up, as the time go on, you know that I really don't like this because they don't offer you nothing. But it's safer, so it's a bad pattern. But then when you get one that does offer, they don't want to know how you are internally and actually genuinely care about you and love you. Now it's too much.
It's too much.
I feel like you're smothering me because you want too much, friend. I can't give that.
You're moving too fast.
I can't give you that.
All they asked you was what your mom's middle name is, and now she's doing too much.
I can't give you that. Or you will, and then as it progresses, it hits a certain point. Now you making me want to lower the walls down, and that's scary for me. So you know what? I'm gonna have to find something to sabotage. I'm either gonna mess it up or I'm gonna blame you for something. I gotta get out of here.
You outlined that beautifully. Yeah. That's
the work. I've been doing the work, girl.
Yeah. And
Doing the
look,
work.
it is a work.
I've been doing the work.
It is a work. But you know what, though? Good for you. Good for you.
I've been doing the work.
You know, because, and this is like when you know, just seeing it, you can't change nothing until you see that there's a problem. And a lot of people refuse to acknowledge they have a problem.
Yeah.
So that's why, even if you haven't taken the steps to rectify it, but you can at least be real enough to say, I have a problem or I'm not doing this correct. I think that's a great start.
Mm-hmm.
And I have so much respect for that. And so now, like, in doing the work like that, I know one thing that helped me, because I used to, I have your patterns with your mom, I have similar with my mom.
Mm-hmm.
It's very similar. And a lot of the character traits that she has that I didn't like, I noticed that I started to have them. Oh, and when that was a revelation for me, I was like, oof, you know. And then, but it was true. It was true. Treating people the way that I didn't like getting treated, you know, and not realizing where it was coming from. It's uncomfortable.
Very.
It's uncomfortable.
It's not fun either.
It's not fun. But it's like you have a choice in that instance. Do I stay like it or am I going to do something about it? That's why I'm very big on putting people back in the driver's seat. We so easily give power away to somebody else.
Pointing.
Like we could easily say, I'm like this because of my mom. Yeah. And now I'm giving my out. That's my out. That means I don't have to do anything. It's all on her. No.
Hey, what we heard today? Is that
check? I almost put
check yourself.
Check yourself, yeah.
Check yourself. So you're right. She part caused it. But the reason why you are now, that's on you.
It's your it may have been her fault, but it's your responsibility now. Yep. It's your responsibility now. So it's like, and that work is not easy. It's not easy, especially like in therapy. That's a field everyone's not cut out for. Because the thing is, a lot of clients who I'll sit in front of, it's like they have a pretty good understanding on, you know, their shortcomings or their traumas, you know, and they're able to articulate that. But doing the work, the thing is, they'll come in expecting me to do the work for them. That's not how that works. Nope. That's not how that works. You got the trauma, not me.
You're a god.
Like, this is your trauma. This is not mine. I'm going to go home and sit on the couch and still eat my food. Like, at the end of the day, you have to look at yourself in the mirror and are you okay with what you see? You know, that's you. And it's like, I understand that it's so hard. There's still stuff that I'm working out with myself and it's hard, but it takes time. It takes time. Like, you have to think, you might have been in that environment for the first 20 years of your life. Mm-hmm. You're not going to completely reverse in a year. No. You're not going to, it's not 5 years. It's not going to work like that. That's going to take some time to unlearn and relearn new stuff. And people don't want to go through that process. They want quick fixes. And there isn't one.
It's not going to come.
There isn't one.
And then when you put in the work, you appreciate it more because you grind it. Yeah. You put in the sweat and tears of, thought you made progress, messed up again, went back to the drawing board, figured out again, or thought this was the source of that. Yeah. Then have to go back. No, that wasn't the source. This was the source.
Yeah. 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 And I also respect someone who at least is trying. Like, because some people, they'll say, I can't be in a relationship because of this X, Y, and Z. And they made up in their mind, I can't do this because of how I was treated, or I can't do this because I don't want this to happen, or I can't do this because I'm this way. So now they write off any type of love. They feel like they're not worthy of it or it doesn't work for them. And that's not true.
It's a cop-out.
It's a cop-out. It's an excuse. Mm-hmm. It's an excuse. So I respect someone who they know that they have faults and they'll enter a relationship and they're aware of them. Not saying that they won't make mistakes, but they're at least aware of them and they're trying. Even if the relationship doesn't fail, I mean, if it does fail, they at least learned from it. Okay, what did I do wrong? Mm-hmm. So now I'm not making the same mistakes when I go into the next one. Like, trial and error. It's that when they say experience is the best teacher, man, unfortunately that is true.
I heard I was listening to this guy, he was on He's on YouTube. He says something about this. I'm talking about romantic relationship.
Mm-hmm.
He says something I have not heard before, and I agree with it because it makes sense. When people get in a relationship, especially if they're not doing the work on themselves or not aware, they're stuck in that pattern of getting with a different body, same person.
Yep.
So with that, when you go into a relationship, he said the cycle will keep continuing because you're not talking about it. He said only how that will work is if when you get in a relationship and y'all talk about y'all attachment style and y'all traumas, then y'all can help and teach each other on the way. Then it will be able to work. Now, I'm paraphrasing. When he said that, I said, I never heard nobody say that before.
Yeah.
I said, that's actually brilliant.
Yes.
It's going to be grievous, but if y'all right for each other, y'all be closer.
Yes.
This and this is why I'm like this, and these are the things I'm working on, and you going to have to, you bear with me to help me to get through this, and I'll do the same for you and your things. That's true. It's, oh yeah, what's your favorite color, all this stuff. Now, I know you don't do this. You're not going to just straight into the traumas right away, but it's cool to talk about, you think about so far about what y'all want to be then. You need to know how that person was back then and why they jacked up now, so I can fix it now, and y'all can be okay in the future. So.
It's all, that history is so important. It's so important. Like, me sitting in front of you, I'm not just sitting in front of Turk on June 21st, 2026. I'm sitting from whenever your birthday was to today. Like, you are all of your life experiences. All of that matters. So it's like, if I truly want to understand you, I'm not just, I have to know, like, what was your upbringing, your childhood, your family. That's a part of what makes you today.
It'll keep you from being judgmental as well.
Yeah.
Because, oh, you didn't grow up like me. That's why you're like that.
Yeah.
And when you have that maturity and understanding, you will know why people are so different.
Yep.
You go, oh yeah, I don't see why they like that. You get to understand it, then your mouth will stop.
Oh yeah.
You're like, why I don't see it like that? Well, I was a foster kid and I jumped house to house and I never had no stable home. Then what would you say then?
Exactly.
Then you wish you stopped talking. So
and I had to check myself with that, because I know one thing that I used to be really bad is being judgmental. And it was like, I'm thinking my way is the right way. And so if you're not doing it, why wouldn't you do it my way? Or what's wrong with you? Or why isn't everyone seeing it the way that I see it? And so just very one-minded, very black and white, not, my way or the highway, prideful. So, and it's just like what you were saying, when you take the time to truly understand somebody, there's usually, some people are just plain wicked, but usually there's a reason behind why they are the way they are. And you can have sympathy for that.
Even with some people that are cold, it's not the wicked ones, the ones that is cold.
Yeah.
You would think like, why the hell like this? Like, every time I talk, they just so standoff, and then one day, time go on, they finally open up to you, and they tell you this crazy story that happened to them. You're like, you know what? I see why you where you are now. Actually, you cool. Just keep, you good.
Yeah.
I don't even care no more.
I'm trying to get to that point where it doesn't even matter about the upbringing. Like, I can just extend to you that same courtesy, that same compassion. I don't even need to know. Who am I to judge anybody? Kind of like that mindset, because nobody.
Yeah.
Nobody.
It's kind of good to have a mentality of that it's the way they are.
Yeah.
When you get them in, like, that's the way they is.
Yeah.
You could just stray it off.
Yeah, and I think that might be that whole, like, my woman brain, like, trying to, like, why? Or, like, trying to understand or trying to make sense of something that isn't really mine to make sense of.
Yeah, that's part of that little nosiness that's in y'all. Very nosy.
Yeah.
Very nosy.
Yeah,
I don't really care when someone bring it up. Like, when someone brings it to me, I don't really care. I'll just be living my life.
I'm trying to get to that point.
Now, it's like, of course, the people I'm talking, yes, I am nosy, because I want to know how you are.
Right.
Hey, what's that thing you're talking about? Did you get that done?
Yeah.
Or how you are about that thing you told me about? But that's me just caring. But in that, I don't really care. Like, if someone take it to me, I'm not going to lie, I ain't there yet. If someone brings something to me, I'll push all the way off. I'm not talking about necessarily gossip, but someone come to me and they just talking to me, just, because sometimes I can be more, even though it seems like that, I can be very antisocial. I don't be wanting to hear certain stuff. I be really like, bro, I don't care. I really want to be say that I don't care, but I just let them.
Oh, I've gotten to the point where I've had to cut off, so I'm like, look, I don't want to hear it. I've had to do that. Like, And I used to be scared to do that. And I would listen, but I'd be like, look, I kind of frame it like, look, I just say it's not my business. I'll say it's not my business, so you don't have to tell me. And thank God they stopped.
Yeah.
And thank God they stopped. But it's just like, it's just, you getting older. What is like, this just feels so childish.
Yeah,
like,
it is.
Like, a lot of this stuff is just.
I can say most people I'm talking about, we're not having childish conversations. Like
Yeah.
that. We're not. I can't deal with it. I can't do it. I'm grown. And then especially I had to, cause my childhood, and then with. Also, I became a father very young too. I was only 20 for 1 month when I had my first daughter. So I was 20 in January 11th, had my first daughter February 11th, 2022. 2020.
Okay. Oh, wow.
Yeah, 2020. Had my first child. So my whole pretty much my whole 20s. Well, not pretty much. Yeah, pretty much except 1 month. I've been a daddy my whole 20s. So certain things I'll have a mentality. I can't go too crazy. I can't do too much because I have a child. That's when I have my only one. So I got somebody on earth waiting, depending on me.
Yeah.
And even I still had some immaturity about, but when it comes to that, I knew that was serious.
Yeah.
I had someone dependent on. I have a daughter.
Yeah.
I got a reason to want to be here. I can't leave Earth right now. I don't need to trick myself in a position, get tricked off the streets, go to jail, or dying, doing some dumb stuff. So I was like, nah, I got to tighten up. Having a daughter did change my perspective. It's like, I was thinking always the worst case scenario. Or I don't give her all the love she wants, then she turn into a hoe. Then I dox her really, she turn into the hoe. I can't do it.
That was always the worst. It was always leading to that. She turned into that.
No, I can't do it. I can't do it. I gotta be right. So like, she ain't finna.
That male brain book I was talking about earlier, that book, I love how she lays it out. It tracks the brain from like infancy to elderly. So each chapter is kind of like based on the male brain at different time periods. And so there's a chapter, I believe, where it talks about after a man has a kid. Your brain changes after you have your first kid. I thought that was so interesting.
Wow.
Yeah, it was so interesting how you should really read it. It was a really good book. And it's not like, it's one of those books where, I hate reading books where it's so complex. Like, they using all these big words when they didn't need to. I can't stand that. But this book, it's very
simple.
Yeah, but good. So I definitely recommend it. But yeah, one thing, when they're saying how the brain changes after you have a kid, I thought that was so interesting. Like, more protective. Of course, how men were already protective, but it kind of ramps up after they have their first kid.
Yeah.
Don't let it be a daughter. So I thought that was interesting.
Yeah, it's not a game. And then my heart was cold. Like, I was very wasn't caring about a lot of things, to the point I remember one time she was just sleeping in the bed, being adorable, and I started crying, like, this, because she was growing, she was getting bigger. I'm talking about sliding down the wall. I slid down the wall.
You slid down the wall?
I slid down the wall.
No, you didn't.
I'm for real. Slid down the wall. She was just sitting there. She wasn't even doing it. She just sleep, being pretty. And I was like, man, my baby getting big. And I just start crying.
What was going through your mind?
It was like nothing wrong with this, man, my baby getting big. So I just start crying. So that stuff, and I'm talking about even when I was in the world, I didn't care about crying with my daughter. I did not care then.
Yeah.
I was like, I be crying.
Yeah.
She be,
Yeah.
Even when sometimes I was be doing something posted like I was smoking marijuana or something. Then sometimes I didn't smoke in the house though. I'll come in and she'd just be sitting there. It was like she knew. I'd be sitting there to have her, like she'd be on my chest or something, and she'd just be looking at me. I'd be like, dang, you know daddy hot, don't you? Looking at her like, man. And the only thing I can say with her, especially since I had her so young and she pretty much to see me grow up, I didn't really do that baby talk. I would talk to her just straight up.
It's not good.
Yeah.
The baby talk isn't good.
I didn't do that.
It's good.
I literally I'm like, all right, daddy finna play I still played like 2K. I wasn't a gamer, but I did play the game. But she actually liked it. I'll swaddle her, place her up on and cut on 2K, and then she'll like cry a little bit when I stop playing. So she actually liked 2K.
Interesting.
She'd be in there just watching me with the big in her mouth.
Aww.
She was actually a very, very, I thank God for my first child. I'm very glad it was her because she gave me so much grace.
Wow.
She was this
second child, no?
Crybaby. The first one, very mellow. Didn't cry too much. She was just chilling pretty much most of the time. Like, she had her moments, but I just prop her up next to me. She just sit there and chill.
Yeah.
She was chilling for the most part.
That's nice.
She always just chilling.
Yeah. That baby talk, it's so easy to want to do that. You know, you got this cute little innocent baby, goo goo gaga, but it's not good to do that. Some research has shown that their speech develops quicker when you're talking to them. Babies are so smart that when they hearing these words, like they're picking up on that because they're forming those neural pathways in their brain to develop language, to retain it. So when you're talking to goo goo gaga,
That's not words.
you're delaying the process. Yeah. So it's good. It's good to do that, to just talk to them.
Yeah.
Talk to them straight.
When I used to do it, was like in a joking manner. Like I just like, goo goo gaga.
Yeah.
And then I just stopped. I'm like, I just talked to like, something. I'm like, you know what it is? Girl, you don't know what that is. I was talking just like that. Girl, you don't know what that is.
I bet you soon enough she was really understanding what you were saying.
To a degree, I did think because her eyes would track. It's like, sometimes I'll be like, I'll be taught she be.
Even if she can't verbally talk, she's picking things up. Yeah. She's picking things. She can't do that if you Google gagging her all the time.
She's very aware.
Yeah.
I'm talking about she would track me in a room and be able to tell like.
Yeah.
And then that having a daughter used to do something.
Smart.
She used to do something to me. She made my heart warm.
I've heard like when men have kids, more specifically when men have daughters. Like I've heard two things like men, I can't wait to have a daughter. Or I've heard men, I don't want to have a daughter.
I didn't want no daughter at all.
Why?
I don't know. I just never wanted a girl.
Why?
I only wanted boys.
Why? Because
the fear of them being a hoe. And I'm a dude. It's easier just to raise a male because I am a man than a girl's.
So I disagree with that. I hear that often. It's easy to raise a man.
Easier for me because I'm a male. It's simple things like when it's time for potty train them or talk to them about life as a man. I am a man.
So
I can tell you what you feeling. I can tell you what you're supposed to go. I can tell you how to rectify your own issues, how to control your anger as a man. Or now you.
So you're saying because you can actually relate more. Okay, I see what you're saying.
That now you telling me, cause I'm not gonna condemn my daughter just cause she start liking dudes like good.
Right.
That's in you.
She should like males.
It's in you, but I mean, what do you want me to tell
Regulate
you? Like what you want to tell you? I don't know. I don't like men, so I don't know what to tell you. You need to talk to your mama. You need to talk to your mama. I'm gonna tell you to conduct yourself.
You still have your proper place in that.
Yeah, I know. I'm gonna tell you how to conduct yourself, but I don't know what it's like to feel. I don't know about a woman's perspective of what her desires draws her to what it feels like inside of her towards a man. I don't know what that's like. I know it's like for me towards a woman.
Yeah.
So I don't know how to teach you how to regulate that. I don't know how to tell you I don't know what you're going through. I don't. I just know you better control yourself. That's what I do know. Yeah. Me, man, I know I was young. I can say that. I can't really say that too much about to a degree. Now, are they both still having the same thing kind of happen? Yes. But I don't know if it's the exact same manner because our bodies are different.
Right.
And even the aspect is different.
Yeah.
Because the dude goes after the girl. Typically, the girl don't go after the dude. Typically, so it's the whole even from the jump, the dynamic is different.
Yeah.
Our bodies are different. Dudes start the average a 13, 14, or 12-year-old boy is stronger than a grown woman already.
Yeah.
So we just built different.
I mean, your input is still valuable though. Even though you're not a woman, like what we were talking about earlier, you can still. You were a young man. You're still a young man, but like you were a child once, and I'm sure you can remember when you first started having those desires. So now it's just kind of like going back to that mindset and kind of like, okay, just how to conduct yourself. Like,
I agree, it's valuable. It's just
like
the aspect of being a woman. Like,
you don't have to be a woman to.
I agree, it don't. It's just. I just didn't want girls. I never really did. I feel I needed them because God knows what was best. Because I didn't want girls, but I definitely feel I needed them because it did help with my heart. Like it did.
It did help what?
With my heart.
How so?
It was stony and cold. I really didn't feel nothing. When I had daughters, I had to feel because she needs that. So I adjusted it. I started so your guy could be loving and caring.
Yeah.
And listen to her, and because I didn't grow up in an affectionate household, so now I'm with my daughters. Not gonna. I'll hug my daughters, kiss my daughters, play with my daughters, tell them I love them, tell them they pretty, all that stuff. I do it. Where you get that from? I can't tell you where I got it from because my mom ain't
Yeah.
teach me that. And
Yeah.
I ain't had no daddy.
Yeah.
And it wasn't uncomfortable for me either.
Wow, that's good.
It wasn't uncomfortable.
Because I was going to ask you, was it uncomfortable to start doing that?
Heck no. I loved my daughter before she was even born.
Mm.
I knew I was having a daughter. I already loved her.
But that same, would you say, but it sounds like it was different though when it came to the woman.
Nah, it was much more difficult. It's like the romantic was the hardest form of relationship for me.
And was it like the vulnerability piece, or was it just the dynamic?
I feel that
generally,
when it comes to a friendship or with daughters, I felt they will always love me. The woman felt like it would be conditional, or you really love me for me, or you love me because of who I am.
That's that. It sounds like fear of abandonment. Yeah. Avoidant 101, everybody.
Yeah. I'm working. I'm not that bad anymore.
I'm just kidding.
No, I know you're right though. I'm way more now. I'll actually express myself to a woman now.
Yeah.
But no, it is because like, do you really like me for me?
Yeah.
Or just who I am? Because at a certain degree, I was what they call like lame or wasn't popular, so nobody was worried about me. Then I pretty much became popular overnight or over the summer.
Mm-hmm.
So it come to
was it going to like a glow up? Or what? Like what?
Well, I actually think I grew up before that, but I think it was the delay.
Okay.
It was like delayed to where everybody caught on. But what I also learned, literally, when other girls like you, girls like you. When no girls like you, no girls like you. I learned that. I'm talking about from experience. Because I grew up probably like the year or 2 years before that. Wasn't really like that, man. Oh, and all of a sudden all these girls like me. All of them like, not all of them, just make an example. But then so many of them like them now. Oh, because I think it's, oh, yeah, I like him. I like him then. Well, I like him too. Y'all don't really like me. Y'all just compete with each other.
Yeah.
So
it really is not about you.
It's not.
Yeah.
I learned that. Then it make you like, dang, it's not the same thing where you can tell when they're competing. So dealing with that, then you would get with them. It's like, you a fan basically? You're infatuated with me.
Yeah.
I actually have a relationship with fans before.
Really?
It's weird.
Yeah, that is weird.
It's weird. I wouldn't say like actual like relationship, the other type, like the situationship or whatever you call it. It's weird. Like they talk about you in third person.
What?
I'm telling you.
Can you give me an example?
Like, wow, I'm really my Instagram name is like Jiggy Boy Turk. That Jiggy meaning fresh, not the definition name. Somebody pointed out to me. I didn't know that definition meant that.
Okay.
But Jiggy mean like dress. It can mean dress or like a certain type of dancing, like dancing. So, oh wow, I'm really in Jiggy Boy Turk's house. Like, what are we doing?
Yeah. Kind of like that putting you on a pedestal.
She most definitely put me on a pedestal.
I learned quickly. I hate when people do that to me. Mm-hmm. I actually want to be far from you. When weird. I feel like you're putting me on a pedestal, that's very uncomfortable for me. Weird. That's so weird to me.
I wouldn't even fly there. I was like,
that's very side-eye-ish.
What are you doing?
Because you know how many fans have killed their favorite celebrity?
Well, I'm glad that didn't happen.
Yeah. Not just like
she was crazy, though. She was crazy.
Really?
Oh, she was crazy. She was crazy.
Yeah.
She dead now though.
She is?
Yep.
Oh man, how'd she die?
She got hit by a car.
Oh. Yikes. That sucks.
Yeah, that's a long story. I'm gonna leave that alone though.
Do that on camera.
Yeah, we'll talk on camera. That's a long story. We'll leave that on camera.
Yeah. That putting on a pedestal though, I've experienced that actually from a woman. Mm-hmm.
How did that work?
Uncomfortable.
Was she putting you on a pedestal as a friend? Did she want to be you?
I don't know. I don't know how to describe it. It was just a kind of like that over complimenting and that over like just trying to put me somewhere where I don't even put myself. It was just a lot of that.
Can't them dynamics be dangerous? Because they start off with admiration, then it turn to hate?
It can.
Whew, that's dangerous. They love you so much, then they turn it. Oh, imagine that admiration she has and that same intensity she had with it. It turned that same intensity is with the hate.
That's scary.
Your life will be in danger.
Thankfully, it didn't get to that. Thankfully, it never got to that.
You better run.
Don't look back. Is that what you were singing?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
You got it. That was perfect.
Yeah.
Okay, now we're gonna go back to attachment style. You really follow along with me good too, because I really do a lot of side notes,
That's fine.
sidebars. Okay, so back to attachment style. Well, not attachment style. What made you get into psychology?
So I've been interested in psychology since I was in high school. What piqued my interest was, Law and Order Special Victims Unit.
Oh yeah.
So that was my show. And so there was yeah. So there was the forensic psychologist on there. Like he would come in and talk to the criminals.
Mhm.
He was really what piqued my interest. Like I thought that was just so interesting. Like he would get a confession of talking to them. Like it was so mesmerizing to me. And so that's what initially piqued my interest in psychology. Started taking psych classes all throughout high school. Like it once my interest was on psychology, it was pretty much set. There was a period where I was considering law, because I think the law is very interesting too, and there's lots of overlap. People might not realize that there's lots of overlap between law and psychology. So I wanted for a second I was considering law school, but I knew my heart was more with psychology than the law. I think like that mind, because you got to think a doctor who he can be the best doctor in the field. If he's not right mentally, that's gonna affect his work.
Yeah.
If he's having a mental breakdown, he could be sued for that, or God forbid he kills somebody because he's so out of his mind. Like, just how important that is, it just is so interesting to me. And I knew I wanted to be in a profession that helped people. That was important to me. I wanted to do something that was actually impactful. So it just seemed to align with psychology, so I stayed with it.
Okay. Did you show signs of what comes with psychology? 'Cause I believe you have to be curious, or you have to have love for humans to a degree, because you're going to be studying humans, because the theories and the experiments come off of human-based experiments typically.
Yeah, typically.
So have you always been inquisitive?
I'd say so, yeah. I mean, there are some things that interest me more in psychology than others, because there's psychology can apply to so much. But I would say, yeah, like that level of curiosity. I think that's important if this is a field you want to pursue. Is having especially if you want to deal with people. The thing is, you can be in psychology and not deal with people. You can choose to go that route. So that's usually doing more research. You usually find people doing more research, not just forensics. People who do research like so with drugs, seeing how it interacts with people. You can be the researcher, but having like research assistants who are actually doing the interacting.
And you're just doing data.
And you're just doing the data. There are some people who they're great with the research, but they're not great with the human to human. I've ran into professionals like that, phenomenal researchers, but when it comes to talking, no. So you can still pursue this and not want to interact with people. People do that, but I don't. I mean, it just depends on what you want to do. But I think the curiosity, you still need to be curious if you're going to do research,
I had you on because I always been curious in psychology, and a lot of stuff that I know, even this conversation we had today, is not even from learning psychology. It's from this life.
Yeah.
Because I experienced so much things, and then my interaction, and then I always been inquisitive. So I just learned. I was paying attention to a great fine detail of human behavior. I've always been like that. I'll be in a room just sitting there. When I say room, I mean like it could be like a living room. I'll watch the grown ups and how they acting with each other. That my mama would have like a guy, they got beers and cigarette they smoke, and then how they act, how they play the domino table. Why they raise their voice like that? Why they slam the dominoes? And they acting right each other. Oh, this is what I've literally just pay attention. Like everything is look. I see like this person act like this. This person, and I will learn, which also from my the way I grew up in my neighborhood and then the environment, I do have hyper vigilance still, because you got to learn to pick up on cues.
Yeah.
And with that, I learned to pick on cues, good and bad. You can see a lot about someone, or a good amount up front, just watching them. You don't have to see. They don't want to talk to you. You can watch what they're doing with someone else, how they conducting themselves, how they walking, how they dressing, all that stuff. You can tell some kind of how someone is by the way they walk. You can see a lot like, she most likely probably don't have no confidence like that, or you can it's when you get experience with stuff, you can tell looking down at the ground when they walking. I'm not even talking looking at your phone. You're looking down, just walking on your toes, as a man, bouncing, looking at the ground.
Some pep in his step.
Like,
Yeah.
bro, put your heels on the ground.
Yeah.
Come walk.
That you said hypervigilance though.
Yeah.
That's usually a symptom of trauma. Hypervigilance.
I do have trauma.
Right. But hypervigilance is usually not healthy. Vigilance, okay.
What's the
Hypervigilance is where it can get like you always on like
if you like that mean you're always on guard?
always
No,
on
I'm not
guard.
always on guard, but I am always
It's
paying attention.
So I would say you're more vigilant.
Then yeah,
Like
that's it.
because hypervigilant, you're going way above that to
Oh,
where
that's-
it's unhealthy.
Well, at some point I most definitely had to be hypervigilant.
Yeah.
Now I'm not, but that's the word I usually see they used. That's why I use that. But no,
Okay.
I'm definitely more vigilant. It's more safer. I am aware, and I'm not always on guard, but I am paying attention.
Yeah.
I'm always paying
And
attention.
it's good to pay attention. That cross between vigilant and hypervigilance, it's like you're looking for danger.
No,
or,
no,
you know?
No, I'm not looking. I'm just aware, and then I'll like, then it'd be like, paying attention. Wait, what's that? Now,
Yeah.
other than, where's the danger at?
Yeah.
No, back.
Not like you're seeking it, but like you it's a kind of like you're always expecting something like your body's always kind of like in that state of something's about to happen.
No, I was like that as a child. I was. It's crazy how the dynamic. You have kids in the same environment, but they endure it or see it a different manner. I can use me and my siblings as an example. I'm 2 years. We 2 years apart. I'm 2 years older than Nautica. Nautica's 2 years older than Chunky. So we're close, but we lived in the same house, same mom, same pops, same dad abandoned us.
That's just how it was in my house.
Same everything.
Yeah.
So they're living in the same with the mom. We do all this stuff, but we experience that stuff all differently.
Mm-hmm.
And I grew up fast and more mature. They still kind of grew up like kids. It's not hitting them as hard as me.
Yeah.
Like, or they got older, they started experience. But since I was young, I knew how serious the environment we in. Why we ain't got nothing. Why we situated like this stuff is happening. I was very aware. It wasn't, kind of don't know. I had very good understanding of what was going on.
Yeah.
And I dealt with trauma-based, meaning that I know about drugs, alcohol, I'm seeing domestic violence, people going to jail, people, all this type of people almost dying in front of me. I'm seeing all kind of stuff. So with that, and then when my mom was being immature, I had to practically raise my sisters. That was the degree. And I got used to it, keeping the house, cooking, cleaning, making sure they do their homework. I'm doing this young. I'm doing this in elementary. So with that, that's why I transferred to being a dad. I don't think it was too hard for me because I had to do it. So I really didn't have a childhood like that. I had some fun and stuff, but a lot of times when I think of my childhood, I don't think of anything fun. I don't think of really good memories. When I think of my childhood, what comes up is the bad stuff.
But it also sounds like you had a lot of responsibility placed on you at a very early age.
I did.
That you shouldn't have had.
I agree with that.
So it's I
really hope this don't pick up on the mics. Go ahead.
It's fine. And just to do a bit of a sidetrack, when we were talking about why can a man that had like maybe the same absent father, but he's more feminine, and you're not. I think that might be a big thing too. That responsibility. You were put in a position where you kind of had to grow up, where you kind of had to be the man or to do those manly things. He probably didn't.
Yeah.
He probably didn't have that level of responsibility. So that was my sidetrack. But
it's crazy how this stuff go.
Yeah.
Stuff really do work in your favor though.
Yeah.
It do.
It works.
It's like
it's
yes, I hated it, but then when you put it like that, it's like, well, I'm glad
it shapes
happened.
you.
It did shape me.
Yeah.
It did shape me. My childhood really did. It gave me grit.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not so quick to fall apart. I'm not feeble-minded. Like,
yes.
Stuff is hard. I can't do this. I feel like giving up. I don't want to do it no more.
Yeah.
No.
Quick to get into depression
No. I'm going to pick myself up and I'm going to keep walking.
Put
Even
the
if
pedal to
I'm
the
walking
metal.
slow, I'm going to keep walking.
Yeah.
Let me take a break real quick.
Because that's all you know.
Yeah.
That's all you know. So.
Because I didn't, man. Especially I had no relationship with God at the time, so I never did. Man, somebody's gonna come and save me and do it. No, I was like, bro, ain't nobody finna do nothing, bro. I just gotta go through it. Ain't nobody come to help me. Don't nobody care.
Yeah.
That's how I always talk. Don't nobody care. You just got to do it yourself. Don't nobody come to save you. Don't nobody care. Ain't nobody finna have no sympathy for you. Ain't nobody finna give you nothing. That's a mental thing. Just like, gotta get out the mud.
Yeah. Pros and cons to that.
Pros and cons.
Pros and cons to that. Yeah. That's so interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's so interesting.
Dealing with it young. So I had to bear the burden. They got the, I'm talking about, it's like, dang, y'all don't really understand this kid. They starting like kids, like, come on, y'all gotta take a shower. They playing and all watching TV and enjoy themselves. I wasn't like that.
Yeah.
I gotta get up early, make sure they get ready. Gotta do their hair.
Wow.
I still do that still now. Do a little ponytail. That's my go-to.
Ponytail.
Do a ponytail.
Yeah.
Do the ponytail. Did you do your homework? Make sure to go to the bus and send my mom in jail. I gotta make it seem like my mom here, so I'm locking up the house with the key, and I'm making sure I know not to enter the door. So make sure they get off the bus, go in the house, making sure I feed them. I know how to cook very young. So I know how to cook like actual cook since like 7 years old.
Wow.
On the stove top, like chicken and steak and pork. I know how to cook. I know how to cook very young. Without burning up the house, I could cook.
Wow.
So feed them, make sure they bathe, they go to bed, they go to school.
You was their daddy.
Yeah.
That's what it sounded like.
I was, sadly.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah. That's a lot.
Yeah.
Like, that's like, because you said yourself you felt like you didn't have a childhood.
No. Most of my childhood, I don't think of positive memories. I don't. It's usually bad. So, what are you supposed to do with that?
Yeah.
So I be thinking, even with when I go, now I could say when I just think about, oh yeah, we were talking about, like when I think about bonsai with my mom, it usually the first thing comes up is something bad. That's how I don't really remember having a lot of, I remember one time we did this. I don't have no hate anymore for my mom, nothing, but that's just facts.
Yeah.
I'm not saying or sugarcoat because I feel it's common where people would know their mom flawed, but say it's their mama, they just want to, oh, that's my mom. She did her best. I'm not doing that. No. Now, her best might not have been the best. I can say that.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to say, oh, she did her best, man. It is what it is. No, I was suffering.
Yeah.
I was stressed very young. I was dealing with a lot of stress.
Yeah.
But made me who I am, though. I don't regret. I wish I could turn and go back. No, it made me who I am. I'm actually glad because, like, go back to what I said, it gave me a lot of grit.
Yeah.
It gave me a lot of grit, but it also made me lacking a lot in the emotional department. Because you ain't got time for that stuff.
You really don't.
Because nobody's coming to pity you. Don't nobody care.
Yeah.
You have to deal with what's in front of you at this time. Stuff's going on. Oh, somebody's got to jail. Your mama in jail. You just realize that out of nowhere. Well, now you got to take care of your sisters. Or this happened. Oh yeah, he's having a seizure on the ground.
I remember your YouTube channel.
Go and tell your mama. And I've been through so much stuff like that on the fly. I have this strange calmness that comes upon me. That I'm talking about. I'm not scared. Just straight. This like I can think straight.
Yeah.
It's just so calm.
Yeah.
Everybody, and I'd be like, I was a boy. I seen I think you heard it, but I seen with my grandpa when he was he was dying in front of me. Grandma, kids when the daughter's hysterical, the rest of them would be. They all crying, and I'm not crying. I'm just standing there. Everybody, it was so loud in there that instead of it dimmed it. I mean, it lowered the tone. It lowered it. I'm just sitting there watching it. Happened to me many times when stuff get real. It's like slows down, volume drops.
Wow.
Volume drops and stuff slows down.
Do you feel like you think clear now when you're in situations like that?
I don't be foggy.
Okay.
I'm very clear. I can think. I don't freeze up.
Wow.
Nothing. This type of situation happened. My grandma's older than me. I handled the situation better than her. And I'm young.
And you're young.
I'm young.
It's like, it's such a double-edged sword, because it's like, as a child, you should have that space to not feel like you have to be the adult in the room.
I didn't really have that.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like, kind of like robbed in that sense of, like you said, like being a child and having like that space to be vulnerable and just be a child. But on the other hand, like you're very accustomed to trauma. You're very accustomed to seeing traumatic things. To now, you've been able to built up like this, like your internal system sounds like you don't have to run away from stuff because you're able to work through it, work it out, like okay, what needs to be done. So you don't have to flee from it. You just know what to do. And that's only because of those things that you had to endure at such a young age. So it's like double-edged sword. Like it sucks, but you got something out of it.
Yeah, I got some of it. It is, but then the stuff that I didn't get out of, I got to deal with it now.
Now you have to deal with it, yeah.
Because with the losing the childhood and dealing with the responsibility, and even now still kind of the dynamic that I feel like I'm the parent more than you, dealing with that, and that dynamic, stuff is going wrong, and I get that you're being open, but a parent shouldn't have to complain about the situation they're in to the child. It's your job to figure it out as a parent. I shouldn't have to worry about what's going on.
Yeah.
That's your job to worry about what's going on and handle it. Not tell me, and now you stressing me out. Why are you telling me? I can't do nothing.
Yeah.
So it kind of got like, I gotta grind, I gotta do this, I gotta do that because my mom crying in this situation. What can I do to handle it?
Yeah.
So it's many times with stuff going on to where even giving your mom, can you imagine your mom coming to you trying to get advice from you about life? You've been
backwards.
And you've been on the world. You've been in the world longer than
backwards.
Me. You're coming to me about advice, and I'm 20 years behind you.
Backwards.
So I ain't in my family. Elderly wise, that's older. I don't have people to talk to. I don't talk to. Let me call. No, I don't do that. I don't talk to none of them.
And I think that bothers me so much, like. People really don't understand the importance of being a parent and the impact that you have on your children. I'm persuaded to believe people don't understand how important that is.
Nah.
And when it's like people view having children like going to the corner store to pick up a bag of chips, like it's nothing.
I think they probably view it as they do as the animals, to where my seed will live on. My job is done.
Yeah, like there's and that's so not true. And that's not even up for debate. It's just not true. And I think that's why I like attachment theory so much. It explains a lot and it puts the emphasis back on that caregiver. It puts it all back because it's not the infant's fault. They didn't poof up out of nowhere. They didn't ask to be here. That's on who was raising them. And I imagine like I feel like all people who are about to have kids should go through like required by law to go through parental yeah. I was thinking about that I think like a year ago, like how I could set that up. Like I really feel like that's something, especially young parents. Because even kids my age and younger than me, I can't wait to have a kid. Me and my girlfriend, we're about to have kids. I've gotten to, not arguments, but like discussions. They thought I was tripping because they wanted to have a baby with their girlfriend before they got married.
No.
And I was like, why not just wait until you get married? He's like, why I gotta wait till we get married?
That's how they think now. That's how they think. It's backwards.
It's so backwards, and it's so backwards.
Another thing I want to touch on, we still on this dynamic, is I remember having a very mature conversation with my mother. She was intoxicated on the couch, and I was getting tired of being like I'm a dad to my sisters. I don't want to be a dad to my sisters. I want to be a brother. So I told her.
How old were you?
It was single digits.
Whoa.
I was in elementary school. I never forget it.
What?
Elementary. I had an adult conversation with her. She was on the couch and talked. I remember saying something. I was like, it's not my job to taking care of them. That's your job. You the parent. She was like, well, if you don't like the way I'm raising you, then move out. And I moved in with my grandma.
Single digits.
Single digits. I was still in high school. I mean, still in elementary. I wasn't even middle school yet. I was going to Wally Post Elementary. For people in Oklahoma know what that is. I was going to Wally Post.
Shout out Wally Post.
So that, yeah, I remember having that, and then that's when I had to move with my grandma. And then my grandma got cancer, so I had to move back in with my mama.
Okay.
And then that thing, it felt like I moved back in with a stranger. Cause I wasn't with my mama them times. I was just with my granny. So yeah.
Yeah, no kid should have to. That's big. Having the foresight and insight to know, okay, this isn't right. This is a conversation that I need to have with my mom.
That's how I tell him, like that right there. I think about that. I just gotta give glory to the Lord. That was just in me, because nobody taught me that. Some of these things, it just was in me. Young, it's just in me. With that stuff, I just gotta take care of what I gotta take care of.
Yeah, because I mean, not all people in that position. I mean, I think there's naturally or are you the oldest?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So I feel like there's naturally, there we go, the responsibility on the oldest. Now the oldest, and he's a boy. You know, I feel like that naturally just gets put on, but like that was to a whole nother degree. She was treating you like you was her man.
Sadly, probably. No, she was. My mom was. I could say my mom was very. She didn't baby me at all. She was so blunt.
She was treating you like a grown man.
She was. Since I was young, she was.
There's pros and cons to that.
Telling you.
There's pros and cons to that.
I wouldn't change it for nothing, because now I'm like, bro.
Yeah.
But it also makes me lack with empathy, because you're not supposed to compare, but someone
you weren't babied, so I'm sure.
Babied, so
I expect that it's gonna be hard for you to do that to someone else.
Yeah, like, man, this and that. I try not to. I'm like, bro, you complaining about that, bro? That's nothing, bro.
But you have to think though. But you have to think though, like
that's their life. I know that. I'm worked on it. Their life. To you, that's major. But the people that's been through trials and like super heavy stuff, that is nothing. I would take that 500 times.
I mean, because your major was to the ceiling. So, and it was a major that you shouldn't have experienced. That's the thing. You should not have. That was not a responsibility a child should have. So it's like someone else's major who was down here, that's still valid.
It is valid.
But it's just, that's not theirs.
It's theirs. Which I learned that though. So it is going to be, because I can literally step out of mine and think, if I only went through this and this, and then this happens, that's major.
Yes.
Even if it's just this. But to them, it's this.
It's this. It's your ceiling.
It's this.
Yeah.
Just like someone that used to having money. They used to be a millionaire. Mm-hmm. Now they had 10,000 there. To them, that's all. I'm like, well, to me, you still got money. But then, but I lost so much.
Yeah.
You still got money.
You still got money.
But to me, I'm like, yeah, you're right, but I've never been in them shoes, so it is a big deal to you.
Yeah.
It's a big deal to you. So I learned that with time.
Yeah.
Because I had to learn to be more empathetic because my background. I was cold. I was like, bro, even about death. I'm like, bro, people die all the time. Like, who cares, man? Like, I wouldn't say that. They're like, yeah, man. I'm like, people die every day.
Cold.
Yeah, just stop feeling. This is stuff. All right, Jadyn, thank you for coming on.
Thank you for having me.
This is Converse with Turk. Thank you for listening.